gonna let this speak for me.
Great. Let's get at it then. So, when we last left you guys, you had just defeated the Yuan-Ti Nightmare Speakers and their Fire Genasi Guardians while they were attempting to, in flooding the lower halls of Yiros with undead. The lower halls were being defended by some dwarves from up above the main heat shaft and some guards on the stairs. You did manage to defeat the enemy before all of the guards died. You saved one of them. He is extraordinarily thankful. His name is Petros, and he's stoked to be alive. Petros Gravel Boots.
Dude.
And he's pretty thrilled about the whole thing. And that's where we stopped. So that's right where we'll start up. But first, a cutscene. The village
Gravel
below.
toes,
Oh, what was it?
You said gravel toes?
Gravel Boots. Which is one of the ruling families of the dwarves. The Gravel Boots.
Hey Mav, could you leave him our business card?
I was going to invite him to the guild.
Yeah, I want the cutscene.
Mav invites everybody to the guild. It's great. Oh, you have some sort of skill? Come work for me.
He obviously survived the onslaught of Fire Genasi and UNTs.
Yeah, he did. All right, so the village below is a roiling boil of fire and black smoke. From up by the gate towers, the smoke is almost completely obscuring everything below it. A crack of thunder is followed by a lance of fire from the sky that slams into the mountainside, shaking the stones beneath the feet of the soldiers. It momentarily covers the sound of war drums coming up from the ash-choked blackness of the valley. The men look uneasily at one another. They aren't sure what scares them more, the fire lancing down from the heavens, or the hundreds of unseen enemy beating drums that are calling for their deaths. You just laugh. Ryan's like, whatever, we got this.
No, I laughed because that was awesome. It reminded me of Lord of the Rings when they get to the underground, to the halls.
We just need more Wargong.
More Wargong will do it.
Oh yes, totally. I was totally thinking about that when I heard drum. I was like, oh, I could do that with the next character, a drum.
War drums. So you guys are standing there talking to Petros when several other armed dwarves come down the stairs. This is kind of how we ended last week, and they inform you that they're thankful for what you've done, but you're going to be needed at the gate soon if they're to survive the next day. And they begin to lead you upstairs. You saddled up and followed them, and you move through the city of Yiros. You get up into the main city area, which is above this here lower hall, but it's not outside yet. And you remember as younger dwarves, you'd all been here before. Filbert was very little the last time you passed through here. You were here for some sort of dwarven festival. You never spent much time in the city, but you'd remember it a little bit. There's a lot of outlying buildings in the city. It's completely underground. It's about 3 miles wide, and it's in a large cavern. In the center of this cavern is a huge domed structure held up by 100-foot-tall dwarven statues that are holding the dome above their heads. And that's where the seat of government holds. That's where the seat of dwarven families and government hold their councils and whatnot. And so you're led through the city there, and on the far side there are on the far east side, there are 2 very large open bronze doors. And they can... I've been waiting for that, for the Euro picture.
I was wondering. I was like, why am I looking at these? Oh, Euros.
Euros. So, yes, I believe you had 46 dog hit point left. Or 36, if I remember from last week.
Okay.
Maybe it was more. It might have been 46.
It says 47 on here right now.
Then it probably was it. I thought it was 6. Anyways, so
It's
you
16.
see, there are a lot of people in this city. There's a lot of dwarves and there's a lot of humans. They all seem pretty bedraggled and out of sorts. They're not happy about being ushered inside the city. You hear a lot of them talking about how first they lost their village, and then they were camping on the other side of the gate, and now they've all been moved inside to the underground. And a lot of these people are obvious refugees from the outside city of Yiros, which you remember as younger dwarves, there is a small town at the base of the pass where a lot of merchants and traders use as a stopping point, and other work happens. A lot of mine stuff that doesn't come out of inner Yiros goes just directly to the town, and then they use the river. They head down the river from there, and so there's a lot of that chit chat going on. And so at this time, I want to open it up to what do you guys do? You want to do anything? Do you want to stop anywhere? Do you want to talk to the dwarves leading you?
If there's anybody that looks particularly bad, I would like to use my 2 remaining healer options on them.
Petros doesn't look too good, that's for sure. He's looking pretty rough. Oh, look at that.
He can have 13 more health.
He is super thankful for that.
Max heal.
And as you guys are going up, before you get to the main city, you go up a flight of stairs, and then it goes into another hall, and then stairs start to wind around that inner shaft where the lava was farther below. And in every floor of the town, there's another 7-path bridge that crosses over it. And you can see this is where they were raining arrows down on the undead from, and no one holding bows looks like a soldier or shooting crossbows. They all look like commoners. And maybe they have some skill with the bow, but they definitely don't look trained more than your common Kren military training would be. They're not dressed in armor. They're definitely not equipped for battle. That's something else you noticed
need
as well.
2 hands for arrows.
Yep. That's really what it seemed like. And so it makes a little more sense that they weren't able to do as good of a job taking them out as you'd think they'd be able to. They just weren't skilled.
Do they know who's behind it?
They don't. You start to ask the soldiers that, and they say 3 days ago, the firstborn and the sons of the Sphinx, about 20 miles south of us, were tangled in a pretty slugfest, upper hand changing skirmish between the two sides. They'd continue to go back and forth. Sometimes it seemed like the firstborn were winning, and then the sons would push back, and they would take over. And then yesterday morning, both of those groups together fled to the city when the sky turned black and fire began to pour from it, and cloaked figures in Gnolls started to swarm over both of their forces. And they were both driven back to the gates. And since then, the Gnolls and whoever's in charge of them have taken over the town below and started it on fire.
The red rocks are within the castle or the fortress.
You asked that, and one of the dwarfs with you, he gives a kind of a stink eye, and he's like, there's a few of them in the firstborn. They're out in the south tower. The Sphinx is set up in the north tower. They don't want nothing to do with each other other than not getting run over by the Gnolls.
Yes.
And you guys are comfortable with the Sons of the Sphinx being here?
Son, with the amount of Gnolls that flooded through the town into the gate right away, I'm comfortable with anyone who will shoot an arrow at them.
Hilbert has a real big smile on. And he kind of glances at Thanos and just kind of nudges him.
Thanos isn't here.
I have called you that almost every single time.
I'm aware, but never to my face.
Oh, sorry. That's still Tony to Adam.
Yeah. No, I'm perfectly fine with that. If they're what's the word? If they are subjugating themselves to the rules of the dwarves, I don't have a problem with that.
Yep. So that's the current state of affairs. You get the impression from what the dwarves who fetched you told you that there are a few red rocks in among the firstborn, but that's not the bulk of their forces. It's just a bunch of mercenaries and other people are mixed in the firstborn, and the firstborn aren't exclusively red rock driven. They're basically nationalist Kren, and so they come from all sorts of different clans and walks, but most of the Red Rock clan has thrown themselves in with the Firstborn.
They're not all Red Rocks, but they're all rednecks.
We saw a large group leave Elenos of Red Rocks, correct?
Yes, you did watch a large group of Red Rock battalion leave Elenos and head to meet up with the rest of the Firstborn in the north.
Would any of them know if that group made it yet?
He would tell you you'd have to ask them. He's
The Red
not
Rocks.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
You'd have to ask the Firstborn if they'd made it.
Nobody wants to talk to them.
Mike, we're kind of doing all this as we're kind of being marched through to like our next point where we're trying to get to, right? By the other dwarves.
Yes. You're having these conversations as you're brought up into the city.
How long does this take?
It takes a bit. It's a good half-hour walk from the lower halls.
I know it was probably
I have 2 hours as a dog. That's all.
Oh, okay.
I know it was probably kind of out of the way, but some of the things that you were describing as we were kind of walking through, I actually thought the archers did really well, and I think Othig would go up, especially now that he knows that they're just commoners, and probably thank them and encourage them.
Okay.
They did a great job. They were really helpful. I thought, I understand they're commoners, but I
And
thought
that would actually be
Hero
helping
Fire
as
was
well.
really helpful when we were in that battle. So
All right.
you just want to encourage them. And I know you said the rest of the residents kind of look like they're in distress. They're kind of being shuffled along to get places. And I guess as we're walking through, just trying to help people
Mm-hmm.
as best we can. If
Absolutely.
I don't know what that
So
means, but-
you start to encourage them, and they are kind of taken aback by it because a lot of them watched what you all did, and you're kind of like folk heroes at the moment among these people. So you encouraging them is really a very powerful moment in their lives. A lot of these people are either too young or too old to be in military service, and so they're either being encouraged in the fact that someday they're going to be great, or they're reminded of a time when they were. And so it's just it's a great moment that's going through it. There's also, a few other things in there, a few crippled people and mothers with young children and other people that aren't fighting capable. But most of these people who are here are non-combatants normally. So it's a big deal for them, for you to encourage them like that, for you both to.
Cool.
Anything else you guys want to do?
No.
All right, so you follow the dwarven guards out to the gates, and he points out down the road, and he says, "You'll find General Getrios that way, and probably talking with Valkyra Silvershield. They'll give you your assignments once you get to the gate." And outside of the cave or the city cavern, you go out these two large doors, and there's about a half-mile long strip of narrow canyon that's been carved. So the walls are about 40 feet tall, and they're pretty sheer, pretty flat. And then on the far side of that, you see a large towered gate, and that's where you're headed. And you guys,
So it's a choke point.
to some
It's
degree,
like a
yeah.
choke point?
Yeah, and so as you get towards the doors, you see lots of dwarves going upstairs to arrow-slitted balconies and ledges that look out this way. And wait a minute, I said this. No, yeah, that's what's happening. And so it looks like if anything were to come against the actual gates of the doors of the city, they'd definitely be having fire and arrows and all sorts of wonderful things rain down upon them.
And we're at a gate that's how far in front of that?
About a half mile, so it's a good
Half
distance.
a mile.
Yep.
Okay, so it's like a half-mile choke point.
Yep.
Okay. That's big.
It's a very
That's-
well defended area. This is before the Kren were an empire and the dwarves joined it. This is where the dwarves held out with their empire. Was this city. So this is kind of, in a sense, the dwarven capital.
Okay.
even though they don't function that way really anymore. They do a little bit when it comes to clan politics and things like that. But all right, so you guys marching all the way down to the gate then? Okay. So you guys continue out of the city gates and then off to the road gate that's ways down, and there are dozens of severely wounded tents full of dwarves on the way to the gate. You have probably never seen this many wounded people in all your life, even after the earthquake. It looks like almost every combat-ready citizen of the Empire up north here has been hurt.
How did a force this large show up without anybody knowing?
They don't know yet. They do think that they came under the cover of the firestorm, whatever is causing it. And now that you're out and about, you guys caught a glimpse of it rolling in, and you caught it catching the Kairos woods on fire right as you went down into the caverns. But it's huge, and it's covering the whole area. And every once in a while, a blast of lightning will come down, but it's not lightning, it's fire. It moves just like lightning, but when it hits things, it lights them on fire. And you can see where a couple of the tents that had wounded in them have been burned, and not everybody made it out, but nobody's had time to clean up the corpses yet. It's a pretty bad looking situation, and they think that's where they came from. But when you ask how did they amass this many forces, they have no idea. They shouldn't be here, is basically what people are saying. They came out of nowhere. All right, so I'm going to pop a map for you guys as you get to the gates.
The force that they're talking about is a combination of Yuan-ti and undead.
Up above, they've seen no Yuan-ti or undead. They have only
Do
seen...
these appear to be similar events or coincidentally separate events?
In a lot of regards, it seems like coincidentally separate events because the combatants are so drastically different. They do know there are people pushing the Gnolls forward that aren't Gnolls. Some of the soldiers who helped in the fighting retreat, some of the first few that were attacked by the forces coming out of the firestorm, saw cloaked figures behind the Gnolls, but it has almost been exclusively Gnolls. And there are whispers of a few ogres as well.
Okay. But there's probably something magical.
Oh, there's no mistaking that. Mavin, Thanik, and Jenica would tell you immediately that there's something magical about. That this storm is so unbelievably unnatural.
Yeah, we just don't know what it is yet.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
Mike, do I feel like there's any
repeat
chance of me trying to call out to the lady of
Still hours?
Still Hours?
You can try. You can certainly try.
I would like to try that.
Okay.
I haven't seen Tabby in a while. She was my liaison for that. I'm just going to kind of, in this moment, be like, hey, I might need that favor we were talking about.
Okay, make a persuasion check for me. Okay. Ooh, you even rolled it in the tower. All right. I was going to ask you to, and then I figured out it's too late. He's about to drop it. So you hear Filbert that you guys, as you're walking, he's getting the full, gosh, I got to turn that GIF off. That's terrible. I can't concentrate with that thing going. You hear him mumbling things about the Lady of Still Hours and really going to need some help and favors. And it's kind of typical Filbert rambling, but he looks really kind of panicked too. So you guys get out to the gate, and I'm going to put you at the... Oops. That's not what I wanted to grab.
Oh, I'm still a dog, aren't I?
You are still a dog, so they wouldn't have heard
just-
none of that.
Yeah, making dog noise.
That's funny. So you get to about here, and you see on the other side of this is a 4 portcullis gatehouse. And heavy iron bars. They're crisscrossed all the way up and down. Very resilient looking.
Are we talking about the fortifications?
Yep, and the wall is 50 feet tall. It's crenellated on top. There are 2 100-foot towers flanking either side of the wall, and you see people moving about all over them. At the base of the gatehouse, right up here in this patch of tents, there is a dwarf in shining plate mail armor. She is carrying a long polearm axe, very similar to the one that you have installed in Orin's hand. It's really similar in style to that. There is a human man dressed in typical Kren military fashion, but has the attributes of command on him. And then there is an elf there as well. And they are, to some degree... What?
There's a human in command of the garrison here?
You get the impression that he's in command of the Firstborn.
Okay.
Which, the Empire's a mix of both races, so it'd be completely normal for a human to be in command of the army. Actually, it's pretty rare to find a dwarf in command of the army. Because while you're treated as equals, you're not... The humans still have the social upper hand by a little
Which
bit.
we knew that when we met the general, that was in the dwarves, because that was one of the few generals that was a dwarf.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct. Actually, he is the only dwarven general.
Only
The
dwarven
only
general.
one. Yep.
That's
One of
right.
your ancestors was the only dwarven general during their time as well. So,
And of course, there's the hospital dwarven general.
hospital.
It's
Name of
a
the
hospital name is something general,
dwarven
typically.
general. No, shut up. I have still not slept enough to keep up with secret wit.
Secret.
It's like, what does he mean by that? And let's see. Yeah, there's the dwarf lady, the human man, and an elf. And they all seem to be talking together to some degree as equals. The dwarf and the human don't look over at the elf quite as much, but they do once in a while. And you hear, I wouldn't call it quite civil conversation, but it's conversation going on among them. And so Petros goes over to the group and he waits till they call on him. And he introduces you guys as the ones who fought through the lower halls to release the rest of the forces to come back to the gate.
Hey, Mike, is everyone on the wall and the 2 towers, are they military? Or is it...
Yes, everyone out here is going to be military.
Okay.
There's no civilians out here. You might catch a few civilians with medical skills running from tent to tent on the west side of the wall, but that'd be it.
This is probably too late for this comment, but did we tell anybody to go back and shut that gate downstairs?
Oh, they were already doing it.
Okay.
They were already working on it.
Did I ever hear that woman's voice again that I heard giving the orders to the one?
No, you never did.
So we don't know where she is.
You have no idea.
I'm a convey that information to somebody in charge, that there was somebody giving orders to the Yuan Ti downstairs that didn't sound like a Yuan Ti, if I remember correct.
I'm gonna say you can't do that because you're a dog.
I'm a dog.
But
Arrgh.
you did convey that information to your party, who would
Yep.
say would have conveyed that.
Thank you.
That's a very important thing, and I know that's where Adam was going to. It's like, hey, there's stuff going on still down there, even though we won, might not be safe. And so you are pulled over to the generals, and you meet Valkyra Silvershield. She is the city's governor and the High Scepter, which means she's the head of the Dwarven clans.
In the city or like in Kren?
In Kren, in the Empire. This is the highest ranking, non-officially political dwarf in the Empire. And let's see, who else do you meet here? You meet General Getrios of Thivis. He is the leader of the Firstborn. And Benanalan Moonbow. He is a wood elf, and he is the head of the Sphinx rebels that are garrisoned here currently as well. You are immediately thanked for your bravery and your service, and asked how in the world you ended up on that side of the enemy.
We were taken by the enemy.
Strategic planning.
That's a good question. That is a good question.
We were taken by them, and we fought our way out.
Yeah, Mav would explain that we were sent on orders from the order to investigate a disturbance. And once we cleared that up, we were captured by those folks, taken back. And then we planned a cunning and deep escape in which we followed them through their tunnels and happened upon Yiros. And, well, you know the rest.
Okay.
But they don't know the rest.
We slaughtered a lot of them.
They listen very intently to your story, and they're thankful for it, but they tell you the grim reality of the situation from what both the Firstborn General, Getrios, and what Benanalan can tell you is that they don't expect the gate here to hold. The forces are just too large. But this is where they have to make their first stand. It's more defensible than the gates of the city, even though the city isn't along choke point. It's just not as defensible as these gates.
I would ask him what he would have us do, or her.
Well, we would like you to man the wall wherever you're most comfortable. And so you can work with any of these three factions. You can group up with the Sphinx, the Firstborn, or the local guards who are in the main wall.
I'm currently a melee creature. That's going to be an issue.
Yeah, you can be our support dog.
Your emotional support animal?
Yeah.
I demand a vest.
Can a dog handle a crossbow?
Nine handle.
A hyena, no.
But if Filbert makes good dexterity checks, he could definitely help handle the siege equipment. Wow, I can't talk today. I'm really sorry, guys. My words.
I say we go.
Bumbly
I say we
jumbly.
go with the guardsman.
I would choose the guardsman.
Yes.
It's a good choice. It's a very neutral faction. It's local. It's not seen as picking a side with people who you might not want to be sided with. All right, so then
I was specifically looking at it as siding with the everyman.
yeah, and that's really kind of
The ones that might need the most help.
how this feels. So you've been looking at the map for a while, and you remember this being here. As you get up onto the wall, you're taken up onto the wall, and getting onto the wall is actually a bit of a trick. You have to go back about a quarter mile and go into some side tunnels into the mountainside. There are no access points on this wall that are not further back. So if you're getting in here, you're either getting in over it and then climbing in, or you're going through the tunnels.
Legit.
So it's even more defensible than a lot of these types of structures would be that would have easier access points closer. The dwarves are all about function over form. So you go through these tunnels and you get up on the wall, and you've been here before looking down into the valley. You know that where the fountains pour all that water out is a giant pool. Then it builds up there and it flows down into a river that flows all the way down to Angel Lake, through the town and everything else. What is abnormal about what you're seeing now is that the cloud of smoke and darkness has basically moved to the edge of this map. Where the map ends, you can't see past it right now.
That's convenient because we can't see past it.
Right? It's very convenient. It's similar to what you saw in the storm clouds, and knowing where you are now, you're probably up about the height that the storm clouds were at. They have rolled all the way up to here, and they are just crackling with fire and ash and smoke and billowing, and you can't see through them at all.
While I'm up here, I would just spend time doing the same thing we were doing earlier and just trying to give some inspiration to the folks around us,
Okay.
riling up the guardsmen to bolster their morale.
Right on. Let's see. Make a couple of rolls here. The wall has already heard of you and what you've done and what you did in the basement, and you get up onto the wall and they start to talk about that's them. That's the granite backs. They're the ones who are descended from the ones who saved the city last time. It's them. They're here. And just your presence on the wall is very contagious among the people. Out of all three factions, because nobody wants to die, no matter whose flag you fly.
Yeah.
Anything else you guys want to do?
Not until I'm not a dog anymore.
Someone set up some markers.
Yeah, those might come in handy.
How far do the trebuchets reach?
They
That was
will.
going to be one of my questions.
They will. The catapults will reach all the way back.
The catapults are on the walls.
Yep, the catapults are on the towers. The ballistas are on the walls.
Ballistas are on the walls. Yeah.
And they will shoot. They will shoot to about where the first fountain is accurately. After that, they're at disadvantage.
Okay. So that's kind of all marked out appropriately.
It's pretty close.
Cool.
Nope, the other first side. The first fountain if you're moving from the east to the west. So, yeah, those guys.
Your other first.
So, in now that you're on the wall, you heard them before, but it was mixed with the thunder, which the thunder has never stopped rumbling either since you've been out here. It peaks and it cracks every time there's a lance of fire, but very, very rarely does it subside. You can now clearly hear the war drums as well.
I'm going to beat my war gong.
What's that for, man? What are you trying to do?
I'm just seeing if this is anything that might even be familiar, or if this is still completely foreign to me.
Why are you persuading? Oh, no, you're not. Sorry, I saw the dice roll, but never mind.
You are. It is not completely foreign to you at all, Filbert. This definitely has a hint of Fey to it.
Is it anything akin to the coming darkness?
To say 100%, it's hard to say for certain that way, but being what it is and what you're looking at, boy, it might be.
I'm going to find that book. I'm going to basically just start nosing at Thanok until he pays attention to me, and then I'm going to find that book and just kind of nose it open to that section and just push him towards it.
The Fey book?
Yep, the Fey book.
How long would it take me to figure out what he's doing?
Make an insight check? Animal handling? I don't know. That's pretty good. Pretty good. It takes you a little bit to figure out what Filbert's after. He's nosing in your pack, and you're like, Filbert, knock it off. I don't have any snacks. And he no Scooby snacks, and then finally you see his head comes out with the book, and the head comes out with the book, and you're like, okay, fine. And then he starts opening pages, and he moves you to what was the oddest section in the book, period. because it's an
Isn't the
odd
whole
book to
book
begin
odd?
with. It's about the Fae.
Yeah.
And then it gets weirder at one point in time when it begins to talk about the Far Lords of the Fae. And these Fae stories come off in Fae language more like fairy tales. And it speaks about different kinds of they're almost elemental in nature, lords that don't necessarily have thought or purpose, but exist in their realm to bring about certain types of things, except they're not elements like you normally think of them as we have them, like earth and air and fire and water. They're things like thought and dream and nightmares and in emotional things, and they speak of them as figures that take form in that, but they talk about them like they're elements. It's the core of what makes up the Fae, and there is a small section on the Lord of Nightmares, who is the situation doesn't fit him, but he is described as coming in clouds of darkness.
Okay. I mean, because I did read this forever ago.
Mm-hmm.
I guess it wouldn't be that long ago, but I did read it, so.
Yeah, and that's why I kind of prefaced it. It was the weirdest part of the book, so it was the hardest for you to put pieces together.
Yeah, okay.
So seeing that he is clearly comprehending what I'm getting at, I would kind of quizzically look from him to the individuals with Fey ancestry, the elves, and see if he'd be willing to either let me take the book over there or take the book there himself.
I mean, how about we both go over?
Yes.
All right. So you head over to the Sons of the Sphinx encampment, and I was waiting for somebody to say that. I was like, just don't. It's going to start a thing. And you see that that's not just elves over here, although the majority of this battalion seem to be elves. But there's a bunch of Tabaxi, there's some lizard folk, there's several Goliath in here. It's a decent mix of other races. There's even a few half-orcs, goblins, and kobolds strewn about the mix too. But it is predominantly elves. There's one halfling over here who seems to be in charge while Moonbow is off at the officers' meeting.
I love halflings.
I feel like we don't play D&D anymore for the story. We play D&D now to find out how we can get memes that bolster the story.
All about bolstering it.
It's what's happened. It's how we contribute now to the story as players.
Like, why is
Dungeons
it
and
Michelangelo though? Like, why?
So the halfling wants to know what you guys are doing on their tower. He doesn't say it aggressively. He's just confused.
Can a hyena smile? I'll smile.
I mean,
I look like that dog.
Like that dog, yeah.
Yeah, the halfling looks really uncomfortable.
Thanik
I smile bigger.
Thanik also what?
also looks really uncomfortable.
Yeah. So you guys look at each other uncomfortably. And
Wait, why
don't
are
know.
we? Why are
I
we in
don't-
the middle of the wall? Why are we on the wall?
why are you
What?
on their tower?
Yeah, no, the two of us.
I say, Othig and I aren't.
Yeah.
Or at
Yeah.
least we weren't yet.
Yeah, so just
I
the
didn't
two
plan
of us.
on going with.
I don't actually know. Like Adam, I don't know what you're getting at, so I don't know what I'm doing.
I want to see if they have any insight into the Fae. If this might be a Fae thing, since I have a Fae book, I have a connection to the Fae. This might have something to do with that. If they have any insight as to how we can be more helpful, or if there's anything that can be done to save this city. I know they probably don't care about it, but I know you.
Okay, so I'll ask them how much how much insight they have into the Fae at all.
Okay.
They might not have any idea.
The halfling looks at you and he says, "Look, everybody here calls me Topper now. I've never had another name other than Boy. I'm kind of in charge. Let me ask the elves. I don't know. I don't know." And so he flags a few elves over and he explains to them kind of what the dog is getting at. And and Filbert is nodding as it's going across appropriately, and these two elves go back, and they come back over, and they bring... It's really hard to tell when an elf gets old, but this dude's old. He just carries himself like he has been around a long, long time. And they refer to him as Tree Sleeper. And
I'm going to turn out of dog form.
He looks at you and he's like, that was a good trick. And he just smiles. You want to know
Now I'm
about
old,
the
kind of old,
Fae?
too.
I'm confused.
I would convey my story. And talk about my experience.
Okay, he gets immediately excited. I spent 1,400 years in the Fae.
In
And he
the deep
nods.
Fae or in the regular Fae?
Yes. And his eyes get real big.
Oh, this is... I'm gonna
I
like
was
this.
asleep in a tree for 150 years. It would grew up under me and around me, and I was inside of it. I was awake in it for another 100, trying to claw my way out.
That's really impressive.
I thought you were going to say unfortunate.
No, Filbert's totally like engrossed in this conversation. Tony's not as capable of being as engrossed as Filbert is right now.
So what are you fishing for? So, like,
any type of potential solution or advantage we might be able to gain over the situation, or gleaning if maybe we just need to abandon and run.
Nobody's running. I mean, you might... It might, even if it is the wisest course of action, even the retreat from the field of battle with the two factions wasn't because they were scared. It was because they wanted a better position to fight the enemy from. So, and out in the open field with the numbers that they had, that wasn't advantageous. So that's not going to happen. Even the slaves in the Empire have kind of an attitude of non-retreat. As far as advantage over the situation, he would tell you that he feels the situation is clearly powered by some sort of deep Fae magic, but he is unfamiliar with what it might be.
I'll ask him if he's familiar with the nightmares.
A little bit. He said he spent too many years sleeping near and in the deep Fae and experienced some of the Nightmare Lord's touches.
And I actually spent time with him, correct?
Not with the Nightmare Lord, you didn't.
Okay. Everyone just kept talking about him.
Yeah.
Okay.
He has been bottled away by the others. And
Gotcha.
only every once in a while, a little bit of him peeks out.
Okay. If I don't feel like I'll glean any type of advantage over this, then that would be the extent of my desires.
Mm-hmm.
And then I would ask if any of them have any way of invigorating some of my druidic magics, since I'm completely tapped out and have a stick.
They're all in the same boat.
Okay, I'm gonna hit things with a stick.
You definitely feel like everybody on the wall is at the end of their resources.
Ruby.
As you're leaving, he walks back up to you and he whispers something into your ear, and it sounds like gibberish. And he says, that was really important to me once. I don't recall why. And you can tell this elf is Fae touched, because elves don't normally forget things. Dude he's a basket of cats. He's
Box of hammers.
He's a little off.
This is important.
Yeah.
I'm naked.
You're naked?
Oh yeah. Well, he's not naked.
I never got my stuff back. I was naked.
Yeah.
You are totally naked. So the minute you transform back from being a hyena, like the tower kind of clears out to the edges because there's a naked dwarf hanging
I'll
out.
just slowly start getting dressed while this conversation's happening, like nothing's wrong.
Yeah, I was gonna
Like,
say
this is
you have your
normal.
stuff. You just haven't put it on.
No,
I
Athenic had my stuff.
Yeah, we got your stuff, but you just never got it.
Yeah.
So I'll get all dolled up and will I be able to remember what he said even though it wasn't something I'll understand?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. And it didn't sound like a name. It sounded, you don't know what it sounded like. Okay. And he looks at you so seriously, like he grabs you by the shoulders and rubs them and holds you, and he says, "That's important for something." And he wanders off.
I'll give him a mushroom before he leaves. Just one of the ones I grow.
Oh, he's very excited. He's very, very excited. So.
And then I'll turn to Thanak and tell him we can go.
Make perception checks. Thanak, make a perception check. Oh, that's good. That's good, even at a -1. As you're talking with this elf, Thanak, you're half upset about this because he's talking to elves again, and you're irritated by Phil and the things that Phil does, but you're glad he's getting information, so you're somewhat captivated by it. You almost don't notice the 3 tabaxi sitting right behind you that have crept up and are now very intently looking at your stuff.
I'll just turn around and look at them. I'm not gonna say anything, but I'm just gonna look.
You look at them, and the middle one does that thing where cats look at something that scares them for a minute, and then about 5 seconds later, jump back and freak out, and it takes off running, and the other 2 look at it, and then they take off running too.
You're a cucumber, Thanak.
I'm gonna check my stuff.
It does all seem to be there, but one of your pouches is untied.
Okay, I will tie it back up.
Gosh.
I'm so sad you didn't get robbed. That would have been awesome.
Oh.
Increase the racism.
So you two on the wall, you're down there, and while you're down there and you're talking to the Yiros guardsmen, several members of the Firstborn come stomping out of their tower, and they are led by none other than Drek and Red Rock.
Kill him.
And they come marching across the bridge past you, and they look ticked, and they're headed towards the other tower. Do you guys want to do anything?
Fine. Nope. That's fine.
Ask him to join the guild.
Mav would just, Mav would politely ask for Drekken.
He sees you on his way across, and then you go to stop him, and he's like, "Granite back, right? Yes, one of the young granite backs."
Mav would just ask him if the others that left Elnos fared well.
He gets a bit of a sad face, and he says he doesn't know. He said his forces were split before the Gnolls came, and the other half of his forces were to the south, fighting some of the sons of the Sphinx, and then the Gnolls came and they were forced to retreat here, so he's not sure.
Mav would just bow and say that he will pray for their safety, and then he'll just turn back to the wall.
All right.
Is Drekken specifically the one we want to kill, or was that Thorin?
No, Drekken is... You're pretty sure Drekken's the one who set up the whole thing.
And he just pretended to not know Mav?
No, he
only kind of know Mav?
Kind of knows Mav. He probably would have said something about how you're the one who offered to work for me. Because you did. You offered the guild services if he ever needed it. And he took that well. And... Yep.
All right.
So,
anywho,
these guys go across the bridge to the other side, and they start picking a fight with the Sphinx guards on the other side, demanding that they give them some of their food and their resources that they have stockpiled, since they stole it from them in the first place. You guys...
Drekken's doing that? Drekken's starting that?
Yeah, and he's got about 5 guys with him. They're big dudes. They're all seasoned Kren soldiers.
We can hear this
Oh yeah.
on the wall.
Yep.
This is within earshot.
Yep.
I assume we're coming down out of the tower at this moment.
You will be in a little bit, yeah. You're probably looking at cats at the moment.
Yep, probably.
You guys want to do anything about this?
Yeah. Othig's going to intervene from the standpoint of creating hostility in this situation is not beneficial to survival. So he's going to try to appease this situation, saying something to that effect, but like with the mindset of he's not trying to start a fight, but try to put the focus on like, hey, we need to all get out of this and just share some rations. So I've got 10 rations, and I'll hand out as many as I can so that he maybe just moves on.
Make a persuasion check.
At advantage?
No.
Okay.
Let's try that.
They're pretty
Luckily,
hot.
not at disadvantage.
Oh, where's persuasion? No, this is gonna be bad. No, not too
not
bad.
That's not terrible at all. Okay, so you guys, there's an argument that starts, and Drekken turns on you, and he slaps the rations out of your hands. And he says, "It's not about how much I have to eat, moron. It's about who took what belongs to us." And the 2 guards are like, it's 2 elves. They're like, "We don't have any idea what you're talking about. We didn't take any of your food. Certainly we raided one of your camps in war, but I don't know what's here is yours or if it even made it. We left most of our goods behind. You're welcome to go fight the Gnolls for it." And then when he says you're welcome to go fight the Gnolls, then the human guys draw their spears and the elves got their swords out, and it's all about to go real bad. And the halfling comes out of the tower and just dumps all this food. All of it. He's just throwing boxes from inside of the tower out onto the walkway. He's just like, "Take your crap and leave. You take everything from us. We'll just starve again while we protect your lives. Go on, take it." And the firstborn guys pick up the stuff and leave.
Am I older than Drekken at this point? Was he a young leader or was he an older leader?
No, he's younger. He's about 150. So you guys are coming down the stairs and you see Topper just throwing all these crates of food out and saying, "Just take it. You've taken everything from me. And just take it all."
I'm gonna kind of lean towards Othig and just say, young dwarves are always apt to fight. Maturity really does make you a better dwarf, doesn't it? And I'll just like mention that towards Drek.
He looks over at you, and for a minute he's confused. I don't think he's seen you yet.
Nope.
He's very confused that you're Orin for just a moment, and then
I'll flex a little.
he tips his head to the side, and you can see he's doing some mental hurdles, and then he just shrugs it off, shakes his head, and they walk away.
Is Phil and Orin missing the same hand?
Filbert has a hand. It's just made of wood and vines.
Yeah.
But I think to most other people, doesn't it look like a prosthetic though?
I think you wear a glove most of the time, don't you?
No, I like the fact that it's viney.
Okay. It would look prosthetic to people, but it moves, so it's. And Drekken would be very well aware of Orin running around with the Axe Buster by now, so
Okay, fair enough.
he would know that it's not the same thing.
Oh, I'll be an Axe Buster. We could use that right about now.
You
Dude,
could use the Axe Buster.
No idea. No idea how much we need that axe.
So the guards turn and look at Othig and thank him for attempting to defuse the situation.
Phil's gonna take
Othig
his.
just nods.
He usually wears his ambassador mantle. He's gonna offer it to Othig.
I'm not taking that.
Fair enough. I'll just put it on you while you're sleeping, and I'll wander off muttering in primordial.
All right. Is there anything else you guys want to do while you're here? while you're waiting?
Since the Red Rocks have walked off and the Suns have basically just conceded to
Terrorism?
how do you want to say? I don't know. Just thrown it in their faces, whether they did it or not. I don't know. And obviously, Othig wouldn't know. Do they have enough food now?
Topper looks at you and says, "Does it really matter? They're not
It
going to let
does.
us in the city when this goes down. And my people are dead. So it doesn't matter if I have food or not."
Well, it doesn't sit well with Othig. I mean, it doesn't matter who they are, really. Well, I'm offering rations if they want them. Because I don't know, like, I don't know how serious you were about, like, him throwing everything over. And, like, did they literally take all of it? He has
It's
no
hard. It's
food
hard
now.
to say. He threw out about 4 boxes of supplies. It was that moment, like that moment you have with your mom when she's done with you not picking up your toys and just starts to throw all your stuff out into the
Yeah.
hallway.
Yeah, that's exactly what it was.
That's exactly, yeah.
I will leave my rations as well.
All right. So unless you guys want to do something else or talk to anybody else, there are several NPCs running around here, and you do have the factions you can discuss things with and other
If you
things.
find an NPC,
You find an NPC.
it'll never get old.
It was really funny. It was a night like tonight too, where my brain was really cloudy and I couldn't do my job very well. And that's
Maybe
what came
we'll
out.
find an NPC, yeah.
You never know. You guys are going to end up waiting on the wall for 2 hours before things go down. So, if you want to spend hit dice or anything else, this does qualify as a short rest.
I would love to spend.
Cool.
Oh wait,
Short rest would be excellent. I can actually get that back then.
Mav, your hit points are pretty low. I am going to heal you to all 10 of... I'm going to heal you as a medic that would come by at some point in time, patching anybody who's hurt up as best he can. And since you only have 3 damage, you could definitely be patched up.
Does that apply to all of us then?
Mm-mm.
Or he's only doing it for really hurt people?
Yeah. And
Okay.
Mav only has 3 of 10 hit points.
he was missing a third of his health.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's looking real bad from his ordeal so far.
Yeah.
He's looking just exhausted. He's passed out on the crenulations right now.
Hi-yo!
So after about 2 hours pass, you hear the drums intensifying. And the cloud begins to push itself forward. And as it does, it kind of swoops up over the pass and over the gate, and it moves down the valley, and it starts to sink, but really slowly. And fire shoots out, lightning fire shoots out at different points in time. So here's how this is going to work. It has a random strike property to it. So every round, I will be rolling a d6 to see where it hits. And if it hits you guys, you'll have to make dexterity saving throws or take some damage as you watch it start to hit the sides of the mountain. For a little bit, you get a glimpse as the cloud lifts and moves of the town down below, and it is almost completely ashed. There's only stone structures left standing, and inside of that, those are in many cases toppled over, and the town below has been devastated by these forces. You also see a large force of humanoids running around in the shadows in the darkness just outside of your range, coming up either side of the river at this point. And so let's see where the first strike of lightning
Either side of the
hits.
pool, you mean?
Either side of the pool, yeah. Well, it turns into a river after the
yeah.
pool, so it's
Yeah.
theoretically it's both. It is going to blast the Sphinx forces. You watch as a snap of it comes crashing down on that tower, and then all of a sudden you smell that smell when a cat gets too close to a candle. Comes wafting down. And then the cloud starts to settle. And it blocks off some of what you can see. And it moves a little closer to you all. And I need to... No, how do I do this? Hold on. Whoa. Oh, that's going to... Yeah, hold on. I'll fix that. I knew that's what it was going to do. Boy, all my stuff is running real slow tonight. I had to turn the masking stuff back on to be able to draw mask. Wow.
Hey, Tony, your 120 line is crooked too.
I was waiting for
No,
that.
no, the 60's straight. The 120 and the 225 are crooked.
My fantasy grounds is locked up.
No.
Yep.
Hey, we beat the siege game
You might. Oh, there it goes.
Siege puzzle.
Haha.
puzzle.
There it goes. And I will fix this bottom line here too. And so you guys do see something moving along the inside of those ledges now, but you can't quite make it out. They're definitely hiding in the shadows.
Did you do any unmasking yet?
I did. Did it not pop for you guys yet?
No,
I've got it all covered still.
Mine's my fantasy grounds is not responding at the moment.
It's probably delaying because mine was delaying.
Oh, there it goes. Woohoo!
Team NPC down here. Did you guys see that in the new Fantasy Grounds, you'll be able to move your tokens with the directional keys inside of the squares?
Neat.
It'll be really cool because I will be using, for sure, dynamic lighting. For sure. And so you will only get the parts of the maps that you have moved your tokens to see.
Dude!
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
You won't
And
have to
you will
reveal
continue to
stuff
see
until
the
it's
areas you've seen.
Yeah.
Oh, is that right?
Well, it'll go from completely masked to Fog of War, or back to Shadow of War. So you won't know if something has showed up in those other rooms or in your line of sight or not, or where stuff is
Oh,
moved.
man.
It's
Yeah,
That's legit.
it'll be black, and then you'll see what you see, and when you leave that area, it's gray.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
still see what you saw in the background, but you don't see what's there now.
Yep.
Yeah. That's super awesome.
It'll be really
Love
cool.
it.
So let's see. The Sphinx Rebels have been hurt now. Okay. Is there any actions you guys want to take as stuff is moving forward? Everybody else on the wall just seems to be getting ready.
I'll just keep getting ready with everybody else.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just continue to prepare.
All right. Filbert, you have not transformed back yet
What do you mean?
into anything?
An animal? No. I have 2 hours on it, so I might as well.
Well, here's the deal. Right before the battle starts, they do come around with crossbows and short bows, and they would offer you a sling if you're proficient. Because I don't think you're proficient. You can use the others, and there are barrels of spears on the wall too. So you are proficient in a spear. I know that for sure.
Barrels
Yeah.
of spears?
Yep.
Yes.
Yeah, I'll stay Filbert for right now because I can at least light things on fire.
Okay.
So, I'll. Is there anything down there that's flammable?
No, it's mostly just scrub grass and rock this high up in the mountains. There's not a lot else going on.
Cool.
There must be caches of arrows and bolts as well, too, then, right?
Yes,
Okay.
there's definitely ammunition aplenty. So if you
Good.
don't know what else you could do, you can definitely throw spears.
Longbow it is.
All right. So I'm going to have you guys roll initiative.
Dude. A young Tom Cruise. Oh my gosh.
Good grief, for my initiatives, I rolled 2 1s. Oh, but I only have 4 things to plug in for, so only one group gets screwed over. All right. So as they get closer, you guys see several gnolls, and these are going to be the targetable ones. There are multiple others coming running up out of the shadows. There, you see multiple gnolls carrying giant barrels on their backs.
Oh.
I turn into a spider.
Screw the spears. I turn into a spider.
Yeah, I want to web some stuff.
I definitely want to shoot a gnoll with a barrel.
All right, so we have now engaged in battle, and the firstborn forces are going to make 2 rolls, one for their soldiers shooting and the other for their catapult. You guys can also choose to man the siege equipment too. So
Is anyone manning them if we are not?
somebody will man them if you don't, but you guys have a better chance of hitting because you're the heroes of the adventure. So,
Well,
Can I man it as a spider?
you watch as the firstborn launch a bunch of, they catapult tons of rocks, basically, down into the upcoming Gnoll forces. One of the Gnolls is hit straight inside of the head with a large boulder and goes down, and then they rain down arrows upon him. Then he explodes.
yes.
So, I need another...
How big is the explosion?
It's not real big, but it's you. There's a hole where he left, where he was.
Okay.
So
I'm just wondering if he, the size of crater he left in, if he damaged any of his buddies.
no, they're spread out enough to where that didn't happen. And the others, as soon as they see him going down, kind of flee around to the sides. All right, the Gnoll Sappers group is what the NPCs are responsible for shooting. So if I do damage, it will be to them. Filbert, you're up.
I'll wait until one's within range to web it. That's 60 feet.
Okay, so you're going to run up to the wall then, I'm guessing. Then that's going to bring up Othig.
Well, man, some siege equipment.
All right, you grab a hold of that ballista, and you're going to take a shot at the Gnoll.
Heck yeah.
All right, this is a ranged weapon attack, so
Okay.
it'll be a dexterity based attack roll.
Yeah, I'll use my longbow for that.
Sounds good. Oh, that's going to be a hit. You're going to do 3d10 damage to this guy as you skewer him with
Dude!
a
3d10,
ballista
eh?
bolt.
Just straight up 3d10?
Yep. That's going to be Gnoll Sapper 2, because that's the one right in front. All right. Sapper 2. He takes it straight to the shoulder. It just rips right through his shoulder and tears his arm off. And you hear him yipping. He's like, yip, 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 yip. And he just keeps running forward. He's holding this barrel on his other side, and there's blood shooting everywhere. He's hurt real bad. Thanak.
For the ballista, how long does it take to reload?
It will not be available next round. So it takes one round to reload.
If I assist in reloading, will that speed it up?
I'm gonna go with no. There's professionals on the wall for that.
Okay.
So I can step away to make a regular attack next round, and
Yes.
if he reloaded for the next round after?
Correct.
Super. Thanks for that.
All right. So I will. Which one did you go after? 2. Yeah. So I'll attack 2.
Which one blew up?
One of the ones in the groups. Not all of the Gnolls are on the map. There's
Gotcha.
about
Gotcha.
30 of
Yeah.
them running up here right now.
All with explodey backs?
All with explodey barrels.
Oh.
Explodey barrels.
Let's see.
No, that's it for me.
All right. So that one stumbles forward a little bit and recovers and gets back up and starts running. So the Sons of the Sphinx are going to... That's a nat 20 and a 17. These guys lay into it. You see some elves on there, and they're stuffing daggers in their catapult as well. Bunch of extra weapons. You see nails and all sorts of stuff being dumped in this, and they let this thing rip, and it rips into 3 of the Gnoll sappers, exploding them.
Nice.
And then they rain a bunch of arrows down on a few more, doing a bunch of damage and spreading it around. So now it is the sappers' turn, and I have the enemies linked in groups this time, just for the nature of how this interaction works. It's just better that way. So these guys all come running forward, and they are dashing. And they are going to get to here and here.
Is that one close enough for him to web?
Here. He is definitely close enough to be webbed now. And if Phil is successful, I will probably put him back. So, oh yeah. You web him all up. And then the area around that becomes difficult terrain, doesn't it? Yeah. Okay. So these guys are going to spread this way and this way. And this poor guy is going to be just stuck there. And we're going to turn him upside down.
Oh man, if he goes explodey, it could be good. Putting some damage on some other guys.
All right. Team NPC is going to use their ballista and then attack the first Gnoll in their line. Those are terrible rolls. That's a 1 and a 2. Jesse and the crew is not doing as well today. However, I will put some damage on Sapper 6, but not much. Mav, you're up.
Well, plans are going to change. Sapper number 5 is going to... That is a big Gnoll.
That represents the group. I will shrink it as it's hurt.
I saw it enlarging, and I looked at the icon real quick, and I was like, oh, okay.
He's going to shoot a guiding bolt at the Sapper. And traditional guiding bolt.
Oh my gosh.
Which one did you shoot?
Number 5.
Number 5.
It has advantage against it for
Okay.
the next attack.
All right, so now the guardsmen are up, and they will be attacking the first Gnolls in line. So they're going to attack the webbed one, and they'll have advantage on that guy, and then they will attack Gnoll number 6. Those are great rolls. You watch as the guardsmen just begin to huck spears, one after another. They all come running up to the edge, and you see about 24 spears go flying over the edge and start hitting these Gnolls, and that is going to kill Sapper 2. And he does not go boom, though. His barrel is laying there, but he has not exploded. But he's dead. And then they hit Sapper 6 pretty solidly. And he is now heavily wounded. Back to the top. The firstborn, they reload their catapult and take aim at the Gnolls you guys are not fighting. And they don't do so well. They do have a good catapult smack, but their archers and spear throwers go wide. So the group of Gnolls is going to only take a little bit more damage there. Put them at that. Okay. Filbert, you have webbed up that guy, but he's now dead.
I don't get my webs back. So, I'm gonna move back away from the edge, and just kind of climb our way as a spider because I don't have anything else ranged.
Okay. A lot of other people on the wall really are very unnerved that you're a spider.
I wave at them with like 6 of my arms.
They did see you earlier as a dog digging in Thanoc's pack and pulling out a book, and like they talk about the dog, the hyena that could read. That's basically what they were talking about. And now they're like, oh, wait, he's a shapeshifter. That's almost more uncomfortable than the reading dog. And
then all 6 extra legs just wave at them like, oh hey, oh hey.
Yep.
That's worse than the reading dog.
Othig, you're up.
Things you have to record in D&D. Frick. I'm gonna use my longbow.
Sounds good.
Yeah, buddy.
You're welcome, buddy.
Thanks, dude.
Oh, nice.
Oh, not enough, but
Dude,
dang.
you lay into number 6, and he spins around and takes some heavy damage. Or number 5. Which one did you hit? 5. Takes
Ooh,
some
and I got to re-roll that one too.
very heavy damage, and he turns around, and then he stands back up and keeps running.
Yeah.
And that's going to bring us to Thanik.
Number 2, is he gone or is his?
I left him there
barrel's-
because his barrel is still there, and I didn't know if you guys were going to want to do anything with that barrel.
Is the area like is it flooded with people or is it just like can
Well, those
There are
Gnolls?
those 2 gnolls are definitely from what you saw earlier in the blast radius at the moment. But there are gnolls everywhere.
I mean, like, can I clearly see the barrel? That's
Yes, you
basically
can
what
clearly see the barrel.
I didn't.
gonna-
The only reason I didn't target it this round is because I thought I could take out this guy with advantage.
Oh, no, yeah, okay. I'm gonna try to check I guess, can I try to check a spear? Like, I mean, will that make the barrel explode? It's a spear, like, I guess.
You don't know. The other one went off and it wasn't lit on fire. So you don't know what sets them off.
Okay. Well, I will try to check what's the range on a spear?
Totally.
30-60, I believe. But for you guys, I believe it's 40-60. You get an extra 10 feet before disadvantage kicks in.
Okay.
So he's right at the edge of your range.
Yeah, he's 50.
I would give you no penalty on this because you have high ground.
Okay. All right. So I will try to hit him with that.
Ooh.
Nope.
Nope. Unfortunately,
Nope.
that goes wide. Are you throwing at the dead guy?
Dude, I was just gonna grab that
I
one.
was throwing it at the barrel.
Yeah, do it again because he's not moving. It's a stationary object, so you can have advantage.
Freaking awesome, dude. Oh my god.
That will do.
There you go, buddy.
All right, and you beat the armor class of the barrel by more than 5, and so it detonates. And
Yes. Good one, dude.
these guys are right on the edge of the blast radius, so they don't take a ton of damage, but they do take some. And then, that one on the outside, let's see, he took full damage. He detonates as well. So Sapper 1 goes up, and so does Sapper 2, but there were no other Gnolls over on that side to catch that second blast that went off. But it definitely cleaned up the floor with the one that was carrying it. It now smells like burned dog everywhere. And that brings up the Sphinx Rebels, unless you want to do something else.
No, that's it.
You hear a bunch of cheering from the Sphinx Tower as arrows rain down into the packs of Gnolls, and you just watch them taking diggers, and a couple of barrels go off, and then they fling more stones and rocks down upon them, and it is another very successful round for the Sons of the Sphinx group. As many more Gnolls go down. All right.
Time.
Now it's the Gnolls' turn, and that means the fire shoots out of the sky. And I need dexterity saving throws from everybody on the wall.
Uh-oh.
Filbert and Othig still need to go.
Nice.
Dude.
I don't want to be on the wall. I want to be on the side of the wall.
But you didn't say you were on the side of the wall. You just backed
I
up.
know. I
Okay.
just said I'll back it up.
All right.
No,
So
I'm
you all
definitely gonna
save.
move off of it this time.
You all. Oops, too many dice. Too many. Okay, I'll just not add the last one. You watch as a lightning bolt of fire comes from a good distance away out in front of you and just hits and arcs and jumps across the terrain of the tower. So you saved, so you'll all take 3 damage, fire damage, as this thing blasts you guys. And then our Gnolls. Get to here.
Mike, is this is that magic fire damage? Would you consider that magic fire damage?
I guess I would consider that it magical.
Nav absorb it.
It's definitely being. It is definitely originating from something that's having a spell cast upon it.
Can I use absorb elements on that then?
You sure can.
So what's half of 3? Is it 2 or 1?
Is 1.
Mav is just curious what level spell that would be considered.
You don't feel like you could absorb the blast because the origination point is too far from you.
Okay, he's okay with that.
Yeah.
I thought you had to round up with half damage.
Nope. It's always everything in
down.
D&D except one thing round hit points. When you roll for hit points, I believe rounds down.
Oh, wow.
Yep.
Power to the player.
Yep. These guys are all very close to the wall now. Actually, these 2 guys, I just recounted. They are at the gates.
They're at the gates.
And these guys are here. But it is now a very target-rich environment. So Team NPC uses their ballista at one of the ones closest to it. And
The
those
ballistas can turn into the gate.
Well, they can. The one that they can hit the closest.
Hey, Mike,
Yeah.
I'm not
Yeah.
gonna do that. I thought it only counts for melee to use.
Okay.
The damage that you get to use is only for melee.
Got it. Thank you, though. And they do pretty well on their Gnolls, so roll some damage here. They are going to put Gnoll 5 down. And
Well then, I guess I won't do that.
they are going to heavily wound Gnoll 4. Mav, you're up.
Mav is going to cast Sacred Flame.
Now, that is radiant damage, so even if you hit him, it's not starting
I
stuff
don't
on
have
fire.
any straight up fire.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
All right.
he's also going to relocate a little bit.
Okay.
You said the gate was iron barred, right?
Iron bars, yep.
Okay.
So
Just checking.
the guardsmen are up now and they are attacking the group of Gnolls. That's who they fight. Those are both going to hit. Okay. So the Gnoll group is now looking pretty heavily wounded. It's a bit smaller than it was. And the firstborn are up, so their turn at attacking the Gnolls, the group. Oh, these guys suck. And they will do some damage, but not much, as they just can't seem to wrangle their catapult. You hear them yelling for an engineer because their catapult is malfunctioning.
I feel like the resolution to this is that the Sons of the Sphinx are just gonna walk over and take their food back.
Filbert.
Love it. I get my webs back.
Nice.
I'm gonna web some stuff. I assume I can't miss a target at this point because there's so much stuff down there.
Well, if you want to target a bunch of Gnolls in the group, I would say you cannot miss. If you want to target one of the 3 specific ones you guys have been fighting, then you'll need to make a roll.
All right, I'm gonna target sapper number 3, who is not next to the wall yet.
Okay. That gets him.
What? And then I'll scurry back over the wall. No, I'm gonna stay on the wall. I don't want to get off the wall. I'm gonna fall if I do.
Sounds good. Othig. You can now shoot the ballista. You cannot hit Sapper 6, but you could hit Sapper 3.
Okay, that's That's kind of what I was asking before. So I will do that.
Yeah, I was trying to explain or figure out a way to say they can turn and shoot something inside of their sight, but they can't shoot perpendicular to the wall. But at the time, I could not form words.
3 is stuck. You should hit 4.
I figured that's pretty close in. Well, yeah, I am targeting 4. I'm gonna hit it. I'm gonna hit it.
Oh,
Oh, yeah, you are.
Do I actually critical with it though?
Yes, you can still critically hit with a siege weapon.
You hit the
so that's
face of the
6d10.
It's totally wasted on this guy.
I don't think it's wasted. It's totally going to blow up Sapper 3, and that's going to blow up Sapper 6.
I really hope so. You have
Good.
no idea how much I want that to happen.
And maybe you blow up Sapper Group.
That's a lot of damage. So, you definitely detonate his barrel. Now I gotta start making some rolls to see how far the chain reaction goes.
I think I not only detonated his barrel, but I think I buried him as well.
Yeah, there's... It's you hit the Gnoll so hard that the barrel hovers in the air for just a second as this body goes flying off to the side, and then the barrel falls down and detonates. But unfortunately, this one must have been made of wet blasting powder, and the blast radius of 4d6 is only 8 damage and not enough to detonate anybody else nearby.
Bummer. Okay.
Yeah, but you wiped the floor with number 4, that's for sure. Danak, you're up.
I was instantly killed that guy.
6.
That's a lot of damage.
I will try to hit 6
Okay.
without him exploding. Okay, that's it. Actually, can I? Yeah. I'm gonna use what is that called?
Action Surge.
Thank you, Action Surge, and I'm gonna hit him again.
Okay.
Yeah, you are.
Come on. Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
And so that's psychic damage, so he just topples over.
Yes, that's what I wanted.
But his barrel's still there?
Yep, his barrel is laying there.
Okay.
So they cannot turn the catapults at this point in time to get this close without damaging the wall. So this is all arrow and spear work from the Sons of the Sphinx, and they do an okay job. They're definitely better with their siege equipment, it seems. And Gnoll Sapper 3 is howling and yipping and trying to get out of the webs. He is biting at them. How much damage do I need to do to bite out of them?
They AC 10, HP 5.
Okay.
But that's his action.
He bites out of them, stands up, and then he runs into right alongside the gate. There are a bunch of them down there. Team NPC looks at what's going on. They're not real happy about it, and they try to pick off a few guys in the back. And they're gonna both hit. Let me roll some damage for the whole group. Oh, not enough to kill 3, but they got close. Mav, you're up.
Mav is going to step up and troll the dead.
Okay. He will fail.
Excellent. Excellent.
Yes.
Nice.
Down 3 goes. Barrel laying there as that damage cannot set off the barrel.
2 barrels?
There are
No.
2 barrels laying on the ground. Yep.
But understand, if you hit them, they're gonna damage the wall.
Yeah.
Okay.
You guys need to make perception checks for me at this point in the fight. Okay. Oh, Mav. Buddy, drop the 20. The cloud has moved closer That is the only thing you notice. It'll shade over in a second here. The guardsmen are throwing spears down on top of the gnolls. And they do not manage to put the group down. Firstborn. Those are good rolls. Most of the gnolls carrying charges now are dead. There are just a few left. Filbert, you're up.
I'm gonna go lend the help action to Thanak.
Okay. So Filbert, even though he doesn't get his web spell back, can still shoot webs as a spider, and he's just whipping out webs at the few remaining gnolls, harassing them. Othig, you're up.
He's just dangling over the Gnolls.
Arrow time. Nope.
Oh,
Not
no.
arrow time.
Goes wide. Thanak, you have advantage. Unless Othig wants to action surge.
No.
Okay.
Hot dog.
Yeah.
Oh, that was a good one.
Dude.
Hey,
Dude.
I killed the whole group.
You did. You killed the last of the group. Good job. Everybody starts to cheer, and then you hear people shouting and pointing and yelling as several large creatures have come running up from alongside the canyon walls there. And you guys see as some ogres carrying battering rams that are shooting fire out the front of them are charging the gate.
Well, that can't be good.
That sounds no bueno.
It does sound no bueno, doesn't it? So the Sphinx rebels get back on their catapult and
Can I?
As a spider, can he web the what's that? The barrels? And
I was literally about to ask that.
you can, but you do have to get your web back. You can't just. You got to use your big boy
Yep.
What'd you have?
because otherwise, you in a round you can't generate enough.
Nope. I know. Yep.
Okay, but yeah, you can. All right, so let's see. These will be all individual targets, so these guys are gonna do. Where's my battering ram? 4 is going to take that damage from the tower. Okay. Group of sappers is dead. Team NPC cannot shoot their ballista. Yeah, actually, they can't shoot their ballista this round. Ooh, both the ballista and their regular attacks are both going to hit battering ram 3. So that is going to be. Ooh, that's some good damage. Battering ram 3 takes it in the face. And now it is their turn. And they are all charging.
The webs that are already on the ground, how long do those last?
I don't.
That they don't. They only affect like a creature and anything that's like playing with it.
Oh, I thought it was difficult terrain, so it's not anymore.
Not once they've been destroyed or gotten out of.
Okay.
Yep.
Haven't gone off.
So the ogres are charging the gate. Mav, you're up.
Troll the dead.
Troll the ogre.
He fails.
Excellent.
Not so trolled.
Ow.
Best troll ever.
All right.
King of trolls.
That's a great troll. And the guardsmen
And we're just
hucking
gonna
their
kinda sneak
spears
over
down
here
at the
behind.
ogres. And ooh, those are 3 misses and a critical hit though. So that's cool.
You know, for a bunch of ogres, it's a pretty legit formation they got that they're rocking right now.
The ones in the back are just going to shoot the ones in the front
I was
behind
gonna
the
say,
aim for the gate.
All right, firstborn forces are going to load up their catapult and use their attacks. Their regular attacks are going to hit, and their catapult is now actually broken.
Oh, jeez.
You watch as
Who's
the cranking mechanism snaps and the wheel comes spinning off and actually hurts some of the individuals nearby.
Is it Drekken?
It's because they're too fat because they stole all the food, isn't it?
They didn't have enough food. They were hungry.
Filbert.
Someone got a hoagie wedged into the gearbox, didn't they?
That's a negatory. How far down is it to the sapper charge?
50 feet.
Is it just in front of gate or is it in front of wall?
It's in front of they're all piled in front of the gate. And scattered about. Some of them actually were able to unload their stuff alongside the gate. Others died before they could get there, but that whole area is littered with barrels.
Oh, so there's multiple barrels?
Yes. There's probably 15 to 20 of them.
Oh dear.
Right in front of the gate?
Right in front of the gate.
So even if I did get my webs, I wouldn't be able to get more than one barrel.
Well, it covers an area, doesn't it?
A 5-foot square.
Oh. You could get a few barrels.
Okay, so hear me out. I have 8 arms.
Yeah.
I can move 30 feet as a climb. And according to the notes I do have here, I have 1 per day controlled use of face step. Can I go down, grab a bunch of barrels, and just face step away? Or past the gate?
Down there between 7:30.
You'd have to drop some of the distance.
I can move, well, with the dash, I can move 60 feet. Oh,
Then you
this
can't
would be an
use your
action to
face
gather
step.
up some of the barrels.
Yeah, or gather your barrels.
Okay, I will drop the 20 feet,
Okay.
gather barrels, and then try and appear here, away from the explosion radius.
Sure.
Sweet, we'll do that.
Nice.
Make a dexterity check for me for falling damage, because you definitely get to make a save for this. That's not so good. You're not too good in spider form.
Moderate.
It's not enough though. So you're gonna take terrible roll. Only 5 falling damage, and then I need you to make a dexterity check or strength check for how many barrels you can pull up.
Ooh, I'm better as a spider. I get bonuses.
And you're on the ground now, and you can see there are 14 barrels. Some of them are inside of the gate, past the bars, though.
Oh dear.
Oh, that's good.
Dude!
All right. So in order for you to still function as a spider, I'm going to allow you to carry 4 barrels.
By function as a spider, do you mean run once I face step?
Well, function as a spider. I mean, you got. If you used more arms, you would topple forward, and then you wouldn't be able to grab. It would. Yep.
Right. I was kind of picturing landing sploot like an octopus, and not being able to move once I face stepped.
No, well, I'll let you make another one. So you pull 4 in, and then like you watch as kind of the arms of the spider go out with these 4, and you're all watching from the wall as he tries to do that thing like you're doing when you're getting groceries in the house and scooching the others with your legs, and he just can't get it. And so
And I'll face step.
all right. And so you face step to the other side of the gate with these 4 barrels. And yeah, the ogres look a little surprised by your shenanigans. Othin.
It's
Go get her.
Ballista time.
Go.
If I'm not mistaken.
It could be. I think you're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah. Attack battering ram numero 4.
Thunk.
We have contact.
We have contact, he says. And
Ow.
All right,
That
roll.
one.
So you plunk him for 13. You stick it to him. And he's toppling around, but he isn't over yet. Thana.
Which one was it? Hold on.
4 is hurt pretty bad, but he doesn't
That
look
one is-
awful. Yeah,
Which one's the heavy? Is that 3?
4.
Hold on. There it is. Okay. The combat tracker was just cutting off their numbers, so I had to move it. Okay, so I will. Let's try to hit 4. Ugh.
Unfortunately, he resists. All right, so the Sphinx Rebels are going to catapult and bow and arrow. And first time their catapult goes way too wide. Most of the debris that they're flinging lands on the other side of the ogres. However, they're pretty straight on true with their bows. And so ogre number 4 is going to take just enough damage to drop him.
Nice.
Team NPC. No ballista this round, so just their 2 rolls. That's a nat 20 and a 15. So that's real good. And they, oh my gosh, 5d6, and I only get 12.
Oh,
That's terrible. So they attack number 3, and unfortunately it doesn't look like they're able to do much. Now it is the ogre's turn. So, here's what they do. This ogre runs over here and presses himself up against the wall. This ogre runs over here and presses himself up against the wall. And Thanok and Team NPC need to make dexterity saving throws as gouts of fire shoot out of these logs and wash over the walls.
ugh.
Oh, Thanok, you take it right in the face.
Do I at least block some for the people behind me?
Yeah, some.
Okay.
Oh, you take 10 points of fire damage as it just blasts up your face. The others make their saving throw because that ogre seemed to get to the wall first and do it, and everybody else noped the heck away from the wall.
Nope.
And they are only going to take 4. So where's my guys? They're down here. And Team NPC.
Freaking love it.
It's a good nope.
Dude, it's totally a good note.
All right, this last guy runs and stands over the barrels and lights them up. Everybody needs to make dexterity saving throws as they go off, and chunks of the wall come flying up from below them. Filbert, as he uses his flamethrower and blasts it out, the flame ends basically 5 feet in front of you. Like you're sitting there as a spider holding these barrels, and this fire is just... It's like a Becker campfire.
Yes.
You're a little worried it might actually get you.
Who needs to make it? Everybody?
Everybody on the wall.
Jeez.
Well, that's not good for any of you guys.
These are all some bad rolls.
You roll the 2 groups of NPCs.
Mine was hovering on a 17, and it was like, nope.
The NPCs all did terrible too.
I mean, it is a wall exploding, so.
It is a wall exploding. So, that is going to be, let's see. Mav, you're going to take 9 damage. You did not save, correct?
Correct.
Okay. 9 damage. Thanok, 8. Othig, 12.
Oh,
And
snap.
the 2 groups take a percentage, a multiplied version of 3 and 6. They rolled pretty well. But, all right. 55. And now this front part of this wall here, the front 2 rows of squares are no longer standable terrain.
The front fell off.
The front fell off. Absolutely.
That's the best skit ever.
It's a pretty good skit. So basically, that deep, the 10 squares deep, down is difficult terrain.
Okay.
And ogre number 3 is no more.
Yeah, one would assume.
That boy is gone.
He couldn't take that.
Mav, you're up. Or not. Are you up?
Nope. No, so close to a nat 22.
It's so close to a nat 1.
That too.
All right, so Mav is laying on the ground bleeding out. The guardsmen are up. They are reeling from the explosion, and they grab some spears and begin to huck them at the 2 ogres on the wall. So half the group's going to throw one way, half the group's going to throw the other way. Both those attacks are going to hit. And they're going to do... Ooh, good rolls. Good rolls. Oh, and the fire lances out of the sky and hits the firstborn.
Excellent.
It's their
We're
turn.
trying to win a battle here, and you're like, yeah, those other guys who are helping us.
It would have killed us. Killed me if it hit.
Yeah, that's true.
All right, and they hit some ogre up. Filbert, you got barrels. What are you doing, buddy?
I got bombs.
I knew that was coming. Freaking knew it.
I'm gonna move them away. Just another like 5-10 feet. I'm gonna stack them up nice and pretty, and then I'm gonna run back up onto the wall.
Okay.
Second one, we have totem pole of explosion.
Where is Mav? Can I make it to Mav this turn?
You could make it to him, but you'd have to use your dash action.
I want to make it to him, and then I would like to protect. I would like to cover him up
Okay.
with my giant spider form.
You're a large spider, so you can definitely use your body to keep Mav safe.
Don't squish him.
I start to tickle him a little bit to see if it'll wake him up.
Does not. Make perception checks, guys.
If it means additional protection for Mav, I will also be prone.
Okay.
I rolled, but it's not coming up.
Yeah,
Ditto.
me neither.
There it goes. I
I
was
still
adding
don't-
more masking, so... Filbert, you're the only one who sees it. There's more coming. You guys don't see it, but Filbert, you're watching as multiple Gnolls are now running up out of the canyon. They're coming straight out of the darkness of the cloud and running, and they're carrying ladders.
Oh, good. I point and scree. I don't actually know what sound a spider makes, so.
Let's just say they don't make sounds because I don't want nightmares.
Mhm.
Spiders are mute.
Spiders are mute.
And it's my turn.
Okay. Who's up next?
Me.
All right. It's all you, man.
I'm gonna use the last charge of my. What is that thing called? Hang on. Just hold on. Hold on. Enchanted Vial to get Mav up.
Okay. So you
Do I-
dump 1d4 plus 1 into Mav.
1d4 plus 3.
Well, you'd have to use 3d4 then. If you only have 1d4 left, then it's 1d4 plus 1.
Oh.
Every
So-
d4 is a plus 1.
Oh. Got it. I didn't understand that right last time then.
That's okay. It happens. Anything else you want to do?
That's an action to give it to him. Bonus action. I don't really have a bonus action that I can use, so no.
Okay. Thanak.
Did you kill me?
Yeah, he healed you. 1d4 plus 1.
Awesome.
I will shoot at Ogre 2. heat. The heating. For an average amount of damage.
Nice. Very nice. And let's see, the rebels. And then team NPC, so I'll just roll 4 d20s. Nobody does good, but there is some damage that happens to, what is that, Ogre 1. Oh, that's great rolls. Not a lot of dice, but great rolls. Ogre is now heavily wounded. But it is their turn, and they move into the opening here and begin to ram at the gates with their battering rams of fire. And as they do, fire shoots out of them. And Filbert, good call on moving the barrels, because they would have detonated back there. Not that anybody's back there, really, but they're gone. So that's what they're doing their turn. They are no longer attacking. They're beating down the gates, and that's going to bring us to Mav. You roll over, and your life hurts.
So Mav is going to move himself this way. And let's see here. Number 1. Troll of the Dead.
Do it. Oh! Dang, it's a nat 20 success. I saw you roll nat 20. I got excited for you, and I didn't realize it was my roll, and so I'm sad that I'm sorry I cheered.
It's
Ogre
okay.
is... You use psychic powers on Ogre. It is ineffective. So now the Ladderers come running forward. You guys now can see the Ladderers. You can also see, running up behind them, a whole lot of other Gnolls running up in groups. Yeah, but that's all of their turns. So the guardsmen, they yell out in alarm, and one of them goes to grab the retreat horn, and the other one slaps it out of his hand and says, "We don't leave the wall." And he nods at him, and they grab spears and rain them down on the ogres.
Good call.
Those are all going to hit. Okay. Where's my hurting ogres?
Ogres.
Ogres. Hurting ogres.
Yours?
And that will take us to the top of the round. Firstborn, turn their catapults busted, so they cannot use it anymore. However, they do pretty great with their ranged capabilities, raining crossbow bolts down on the ladder ogres and the flesh gnars behind them. Where's the ladder guys? There's a lot of stuff going on again. Mike's always putting a lot of stuff in here. Ladder number 5 is going to go down. And ladder number 6 is going to get hit. All right. Who's next? Filbert.
What's the 10-foot block again?
That's just how deep the gorge is.
Okay.
Filbert's gonna not be spider anymore.
Okay.
And he's gonna cast infestation on one of these ogres.
Oh.
And see if he can make it run away. It fails. It takes 1 poison damage and then run 6. This way.
Okay, well, it can't run that way.
Right, but it has to spend its turn doing that. Or it uses reaction to do that?
I don't know. It's not my spell.
Moves a random direction 5 feet. It's a 1d4. Sorry, I rolled the 4. It runs
West. Right
Into the
in,
wall.
Dennis.
right into the bars.
Settings.
It,
So I made it
continu-
do it.
it continues to do what it is doing.
I made it do it.
It's all Filbert's fault.
Right, Filbert's proud of
Oh my
himself.
God.
That's all I got.
Othing.
I can't hit them with the ballistas, right?
No.
And I can't target them from the wall.
You can ranged attack them from the wall, but
Can I?
Yeah, you could shoot down. There's no ceiling over them right now. It's gone.
Oh yeah, that's true. There's not. Okay.
So yeah, but the ballista definitely can't turn there. It could turn towards the Gnolls carrying ladders though.
Yeah. Okay. Where's the edge of the wall?
Where the
Where
box
it's, like,
is.
opened up? Where the box
Basically,
is?
right where the skinny road goes in, it's that wide,
Okay.
and it's
got
10
it.
feet. 10 feet deep. Got blasted out.
How far is that? It's like. So, oops. Can't tell from up here how far that. It's like.
That looks like 15 feet.
That's perfect. Then I'm going to use that exact same 15 feet to move back after I attack.
Okay.
Perfecto. Yes.
20. Very nice.
We have contact.
That's how we do it.
I would do it.
All right, he's still up. Thanak.
They're both super. All right. Well, I guess I'll just shoot him with mine bullets.
Mind bullets. Nice.
Dude, that's a good mind pull.
That is a very good mind bullet. That one looks real bad. All right, so the rebels are up, and they're going to shoot at the ladderers with catapult and arrow. Catapult is ineffective. Arrows are fairly effective, but not enough to drop. Ladderer 4.
Laddered. Sorry. Channeling strong bad there for a second.
That's quite all right.
For a second.
Team NPC is going to attack their ogre. And they do pretty good. They're going to get 4d8. Those are mediocre rolls, though, unfortunately. It's more than that. It's 40. Oops, not that much. There we go.
That's too much.
All right, so it is the ogre's turn, and they get through the middle gate, and they are now on the last gate. They are now also under cover. If you stand right at the corner, one person can stand at the corner of the wall and shoot at them.
Okay.
Of where it's broke.
I'm going to get him. Maybe. We'll see.
Let's see. It is... Mav, I'm going to let you go because the Gnolls are all just running up to the wall and dropping their ladders against it. So, as I'm doing that, you can...
1, 2, 3. I would like to attempt to push the ladder off the wall.
As they throw the ladders up, large iron locking mechanisms come down and clamp over, so I will need a strength check at disadvantage to do that.
Just
Okay.
like Lord of the Rings.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. Let's see.
To be fair, you were already at disadvantage.
No, I'm
That's
not.
true. You're exhausted.
Try persuasion to convince
I
him
am
to...
on. You are
to
right.
destroy
I
some
am at
ladder.
disadvantage. Yes, right. I forgot. Saves aren't at disadvantage. Just checks are.
Correct.
I'm going to attempt to.
Can I convince the ladder to become kindled?
I think they're metal.
I'm going to ready a spear for the first person that, already a sacred flame for the first person that makes it up the. No, we will do spear. We're gonna do a spear. The first person that comes up then is gonna get a spear to the face.
All right. I like it. I love it, actually. And they are coming.
And we're gonna step actually back this way.
So, let's see. Guardsmen, a couple of them filter over to both sides. I'm going to put them here now. They're still on the wall. They split up to both sides, and they are attempting to attack the Gnolls, who are going to try and climb the ladder. It's a mixed bag. Some hits, some misses. And 8 and 10 damage to 6 and 15. Let's see. Let's see. Oh, fire. Time for the fire to come shooting down. Oh, the firstborn. You guys are just not lucky.
That makes me happy.
Which is funny because they're the firstborn.
More like the first dead.
All right, you do see on both sides of the towers now several of those people are making their way to the inside edge of the tower, and it does look like some of them are getting prepared to come down from the tower now as well. As the fight is definitely about to move to on the wall. And I will make attack rolls for the firstborn. Ooh, there's nat 20 in there. So let's see. Who is that? Number 6. It's going to take some good damage. Some okay damage. Bad rolls. But he... looking bad. And Othig.
Hey.
Oh, I'm sorry, Filbert. I hit the next button. I must have already clicked it too.
I'm sure Phil goes before me.
Nope, not anymore.
Hey!
On fire!
Nice.
Nice.
Bum, bum.
Good one.
Can I scooch out of the way?
Does
Yeah.
that one down there look like he's about to get through?
You think they would have gotten through if they both would have gotten their turns this round? He might. Depends on how good his rolls are. With both of them there, I wasn't rolling, but with one of them there, I'll be rolling damage on the gate.
Okay. Okay.
Tag me in.
I'll move. There is a bonfire under the other one's spot, but that doesn't really matter.
The dead one?
Yeah. I don't know if his cannon can explode or not, if it's got extra fire powder in it or something.
You haven't seen that happen, and you guys have killed 3 of them now.
Sure. They also haven't remained on fire until now, so
True.
I didn't know if I don't know if they're magic or what causes them to be fiery damagey,
Rounds are not.
or if they were mechanical.
Right
so
on.
it was just pointing out, hoping maybe it might blow up and make him go poop.
Sure. Is that your turn?
Yeah, that'll be my turn. I don't think I have any bonus actions worth using at the moment.
Othig.
Othig. Gonna shoot the big ugly guy.
No, not me.
Not you. Oh, sad.
Excellent Church.
You already used it.
No, I haven't.
Oh, that's right. It was Thanak who used it.
Yeah, I used mine.
Yeah, and that's a good point, actually, because I really did want it down, so... yeah, I guess Yeah, alright.
Yeah.
That'll work.
That's a good Excellent Church.
Oh,
All right.
That's not. But
So
no me gusta.
you stick him with an arrow.
Yeah.
Thanak.
Pop there.
Coup de grace.
Oh.
Yeah. Dude, we got +5.
Oh,
Mind powers.
Ah, come on.
Not enough.
stuck on a 10 for a second and then scooched over.
So
We
it's
have,
the
like,
rebels'
one
turn,
left.
and they're going to drop some pain.
I don't have anything
You're
left.
like barely hanging on.
Oh, no, they're not. That's... Unfortunately, the rebels only hit once. Ooh, it's max damage, though. So 15 takes one really good shot right to the throat, but he's a Gnoll, and he's still freaking out and running forward. And Team NPC...
Are they going to try for the ogre? Or
Yeah,
no?
one of them's going to try for the ogre, and the others are going to shoot. That's bad. Okay, so they're going to hit one of the Gnolls. But... And that should kill that one. Yeah, he can't survive that. And let's see. Alright, ogre. Ogre roll. That, you guys, is a nat 20.
No.
Come on.
I'm really sorry. I can cut and paste it if you want.
No, it's
no.
Can you just cut and paste the 0? or maybe the 2.
Sorry, boys. This ogre winds up and smashes down the gate and comes stomping through into the courtyard. Over here, roaring.
Crap.
And let's see, the wall is breached. I need everybody to make dexterity saving throws as large amounts of fire wash over the wall, the tower, and the towers in the courtyard from up above. Filbert's fail.
Oh.
Othig fails. Let me roll for our NPC friends. All of them are going to fail.
Mike, if you wanted to play a different campaign, you could have just asked.
All right. Andy, you're gonna take you succeeded.
Yeah.
You're gonna take 9 points of damage. If you succeeded, you're gonna take 9. If you failed, you're gonna take 18.
Mav's unconscious.
Mav goes unconscious again. Team NPC is looking rough. So are
What was the DC?
14.
Oh, okay then.
Too much dying. Not enough dying.
Of the other side.
Yeah. That's what I'm
There's been a
saying.
good amount of dying on the other side.
More dying.
The only group now not looking bloodied is the Sphinx Rebels. They seem to have had a pretty good go of not getting blasted with the fire from the sky until now. All right. So... And that brings us to the Flesh Gnars, who are all climbing the ladder. They are going to
What?
use... Oops.
Oh, flesh gnar. Okay.
Gnars.
I was like, what's a flesh gnar?
Flesh Gnar. They are going to use their full action and then take the movement and then take the dash action to scatter themselves up the ladders and at the top of the wall. But that's their turn. So I gotta move all these guys. Mav, you can succeed on your death saving throw. And then who's next after that? I'm next after that. Yeah. I gotta get these guys all on the wall. The ballista is now overrun.
I feel we should have brought some of those barrels up here.
No, it's good. They can sit down there where that guy will light him on fire, accidentally walking towards him because he's stupid. He should be within range of him at the moment, so we'll see what happens.
I stood here because I was hoping to like block some of the people up the ladder, but now See.
Mike, can I make a opportunity attack?
You can as they get into range. Adam, I want to give you that, so I'm going to leave 2 of them down.
Okay.
They're stuck on the ladder. Because I knew that's what you were doing, and I meant to let you take advantage of it.
Okay.
Let's see.
I do want to hit that one.
Othig Firstborn's up. Not Othig, sorry. I got ahead of myself. You can save your rolls, though.
What happened there?
I don't know. It rolled twice. You attacked twice.
Yeah, so I guess I missed.
Okay. All right. Well, you'll miss on your turn then. The Firstborn, many of them come running down the tower and draw their weapons, and they are now engaging in melee and a little bit of archery from above as best as they can. And they do poorly. Philip.
I'm gonna run over to Mav, feed him 2d4 plus 2 out of my potion.
All right. And then any bonus actions?
Oh.
Phil, bonus actions or anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna turn into something with a bunch of hit points.
Okay. I'll let
see
you
what
do
happened.
that.
I had the battering ram targeted as well. That's why it rolled twice. But
Ah.
I still missed.
But you still get to take your butt swing, even if you miss, don't you?
That was his.
No, I
attack.
targeted the one further away from me, so no.
Oh, gotcha. All right.
Yeah, but you can still attack one in melee.
No.
If someone's in melee with you.
That's true. You've let me do that before.
But if you're attacking the battering ram, you're using a different weapon.
No, but I'm not attacking the battering ram. He wasn't anywhere near me. I was using my.
He was attacking the Gnoll flesh.
Got it. Yes, I am
And that doesn't
tracking
have a
with you
button.
now. Definitely tracking with you now. So you can make your attack roll. There it is. Whoa, what was that?
Nope, that's me turning
Okay.
into a dire wolf.
I was like, what the
I
heck?
was like, holy attack.
Yep.
Where did that come from?
Sorry.
So Othig, did you make your butt swing then?
It's not his turn yet,
Oh,
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it
it's-
was.
No.
you may make
No,
your butt
fine.
swing now. Yes, we're on target. Make your butt swing if you can.
I didn't take my regular attack though.
Yeah, that attack he made was an opportunity attack when they
Got
came
it.
in range.
I
Oh.
understand. Everything is so clear to me now. It's like
Okay.
the sky has opened up and rays of intelligence have landed on me.
Did it hurt?
Yes, it hurts a lot.
Okay.
Lightning has just struck my brain. I've had an apostrophe.
That's so good. Okay, I'm actually gonna attack. I'm gonna attack that same one again with this. I just gotta see it first. Oh my gosh. Alright, I'm gonna take my regular attack and then I'm gonna use probably second wind as a bonus action because I need some HP. Yeah, definitely that's what I'm gonna do. Okay. So, oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Very nice.
Now he just starts lopping people's heads off.
Yep. There it goes. There it goes.
Double nines.
Yep.
And then I will heal myself.
Where's that guy at? I need to get him out of the combat tracker.
Oh, good heal.
Just instant death.
Insta death. Get off my wall.
And you did not. Sorry. You restored hit points as a bonus action. Second wind. That's the word I'm looking for.
Yes, sir. That is what I did.
Okay.
I'm also gonna second wind.
All right.
Oh, that wasn't as good.
No, it wasn't.
Every little bit helps.
Every little bit.
That helps. And I'm going to with my spear. let's see. I will get this number 13, right? Because none of them are 15's hurt. I'll go for 15 since 15's hurt already. Oh, come on.
Dude, come on.
Jeff,
Come
so
on,
lame.
dice.
Bummer.
They're super lame.
Bummer.
like hovered on 18
Yeah.
just for a second.
All right. After Thanok goes, you guys look over the wall and you hear yipping and snarling as two heavily armored gnolls come running out of the cloud, and they book it for the gate. They're there. That's their turn, though. And let's see. Sphinx Rebels. They move down into melee and begin attacking some of these gnolls. Oh, those are two great rolls. He will kill one and hurt another.
Nice.
11 was bye-bye. And who's this one? That's 10. 10 is now hurt. Team NPC. You hear something about Mav was never this much fun back at the academy. And and they attack a bunch. Let's see. Okay. They don't do so hot. But that's good damage. They do manage to drop one.
So I think I'm going to, for Mav, invent one of those, like a horse feeder bag, but it's a potion that just slurps into his mouth.
You're gonna make him a potion pacifier?
Yeah.
Well, he's not normally in this bad of a state, but I've really pushed his limits.
It's only been 3 weeks without a rest.
I know.
Only. All right, so the ogre marches off towards these tents where you know the wounded and other people are, and he starts lighting them up.
Jerk.
And let's see, I got how many flesh gnawers I got left? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11.
Everyone's up on the wall.
Yep. Nobody expected to get anything to get through the gate.
Can we tell the rebels or whoever to shoot behind us?
Yeah, seriously.
You can definitely yell out that stuff. Let's see.
Oh, I would have yelled that
Definitely the rebels, because the firstborns haven't done crap.
out.
Conveniently, it's most of their wounded in the tent, so.
That's actually pretty true. Filbert, you are hit once, and Thanok, you are critically hit once by the Gnolls. And then the NPC groups are pretty beat up. Luckily, the critical hit is for only 3 points of damage.
Oh my god.
Well, it's okay. Great.
Filbert, you are regularly hit for 4.
Ah. Oh my gosh.
And
What was I?
NPCs take some
Was I?
more damage. The Firstborn are actually... They don't look so hot over there at the Firstborn encampment. And the Guardsmen are doing pretty poor as well.
Jeez.
And the Sons of the Sphinx are okay. They have just crossed over into the heavily wounded category. Mav, you're up.
Mav is going to troll the dead.
I assume, Mike, that these weapons that they're using against us aren't magical.
No, they are not. These are some pretty crude looking weapons. Rusty scimitars, short swords, broken, crusty spears. All right.
He's also going to give a rousing, inspirational speech to the guardsmen that are around him.
Do you have any of your potion left, Mav?
What?
Do you have any of your potion left?
Probably.
You should use some of that.
He hasn't used any of it.
I know. He has 3d4 plus 3 in that potion vial.
We've all
Actually, I used one of them already.
Okay, so you have 2d4.
Mike, can I make my attack against the ladder 7?
As they're coming up the ladders, sure can. So most of the ladderers and Gnars come running up on their turns. Oh,
All right.
Unfortunately, it misses. Guardsmen have moved to this side to help you guys. The NPCs are down there helping the others. They're going to make... They are down to...
Would we have been able to tell them to shoot down the ogre?
Yes, you can. They can do that instead. So they'll stay where they're at.
I'd rather
then.
do that.
Yeah.
And they will hit the ogre.
Kill the ogre! Kill it!
And I suppose they could not kill this, but it's unlikely that they will not kill the ogre. Oh, I almost did it. But they do manage. It's a real slow death for this ogre, but he does manage to take a spear in the back and go tumbling forward.
Want to give us that one help?
And everybody makes dex saves. Not everybody, sorry, I gotta roll again. Oh, gosh. I have only rolled 5s, except for that first time that it hit you guys on the wall. I've only rolled 5s, which is the firstborn. Dex saves for them. They are no longer capable of shooting arrows. They are melee only, as Drekken and a few others come out of the tower, and their forces are greatly diminished.
How hilarious would it be if Drekken died now?
I'd be so happy. I have no idea. I may go bite him.
Oh my gosh.
It is their turn, and they're down to 2 attacks. So that's that, and they will do... All right. Gosh. That's 11 damage. That's enough to kill one of the Gnars. Gnar 14 will go away. Filbert.
How far down to the Pack Lords?
50 feet.
That's a lot of damage.
It's a pretty good amount of damage.
I think I could survive it.
That's a lot of damage.
Yeah, I do.
Will one of them cushion the blow when I land on him?
If you make an attack roll on him and hit him.
Oh my gosh.
Do it.
Aren't you going to take like 3 opportunity attacks?
No, I was going to disengage and just...
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't...
Oh, but you can't disengage.
Yeah, I can't, because that's an action.
Can't.
So how... Flesh Gnars. Oh,
He
if
couldn't
they all
make
hit me.
an attack and disengage.
Oh.
Yeah. I would just be hurling myself off a wall. So I will just attack I will attack at advantage against the Flesh Gnar
I
next
feel like
to me.
falling on someone counts as a pseudo grapple.
I'm a large creature.
Even more so now.
It's more just a matter if they step out of the way or not. And so if he's making an attack and he hits, it obviously can't get out of the way because he hit. So
Yeah, okay. Can't argue that.
Oh. Tony, you rip into this thing and you feel like you almost kill it.
And I knock it prone.
And you knock it prone.
Do you have pack tactics, or
I do.
everybody around you?
I do. The wolf has advantage on attack rolls against creatures as long as at least one of my allies is within 15 feet of me.
Yep.
So you don't give pack tactics. You just
Correct.
No,
Okay.
that's a later ability I get.
Okay.
Othig spins around, stabs somebody with his glaive. Not hard, but enough.
That's enough.
No, it is hard because you did reroll that one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it is. Yep, totally.
Yeah.
He hits him, nails him
Instead
real
of
hard.
knocking him prone, can I have pushed him off, Mike?
Oh, man.
Yeah, for this, I'd let you do that.
Okay, he go bye-bye.
Which
That's
one was that?
funny.
Number 13.
Yeah, because I'm just about to do the exact same thing.
That's great.
I'm going to charge number 7.
Can you after making an attack?
Yes. Charger is bonus.
Yeah, but you can't charge because you have to dash for the action.
That's true.
Yeah. You take the dash action
Oh,
to
yeah,
get
yeah,
Charger
sorry.
and make a
You're right.
bonus attack.
Yeah.
Yep.
Sorry. Yep. Next round.
That was a good move, Phil. Next round. All right, Thanak, you're up.
So I'm gonna try this again. And spear him. Hey, I hit him. Hey, not bad.
Not bad
He
at
only
all.
have 1 hit point.
Yep. He's one that got shot before.
Is it possible to do something with the ladder?
You could make a strength check to dislodge it, and then
Is that an action?
it is an action.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, that's it then.
Sounds good. These guys come running right through the gates and end up...
Trip on explodey barrel?
What? No, they do not trip on explodey barrel, but they are 30 feet on the other side of the gates now. They are not stopping. It's the rebels' turn. Is there anything you want them to do in particular, or
Shoot the Gnoll Lords.
okay? They will turn their two ranged attacks they have left on the Gnoll Lords and hit with both. And they will use one melee attack on dudesters in front of them. That's a nat 20. That's great, probably. Yep, that's great. So 16. It's going to go away. And 2 is going to take that much damage. All right, so I got... How many Gnars I got left here? I got some Gnars left. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8. All right, Sons of Sphinx get hit by Gnars. And more Gnars, because that's who they're in range of up there. Down here, miss 2 hits. Okay. All right. Team NPC is nobody's down yet, but if they take another bad round, they're going to have people down. And the Sphinx still holding it together, but they're not doing good. And Thanak, you were missed twice by the guys on the ladder. They actually will... This guy will actually come up. The other guy's fighting you from the ladder. And that's it. Othig, you could stab that one guy as he came into your range.
Yes, please.
I figured you'd like that.
What was it, number 4?
Yeah, number 4.
Get him. Yes.
Very nice. So you eliminate number 4 from life. And Mav, it's going to be your turn.
Mav is going to troll the dead.
Troll the dead. Nat 1.
Jeez.
That thing is awful.
All right, ladderers. I got 1, 2, 3. I got 7. Thanak, you are almost hit by this guy. Your AC is 19, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, he pounds into you hard. And you take a step back, reeling from the blow, but he does not manage to put you down. Let's see. Yeah, let's see. The ranger in the NPC group is now laying on the ground.
Oh no.
He is being attended to by the rogue at the moment, but things are turning very poorly for them. And Sons of the Sphinx takes some more damage, and Firstborn make it out okay. Oops, that's too much. A little too much. There we go. And now it is the guardsman's turn. What would you got any orders for them? The Gnoll Lords are out of spear range.
Oh, they are.
I would help the NPCs then.
Yeah.
Okay. They are going to flood down here and pull these guys back a little bit. They're going to switch spots with them.
Do the rebels, do they have archers?
They have a few left.
It's not their turn yet, but when it is, I would like them. Oh, they're going to be out of range, though they might.
They wouldn't be out of range of bows, but
Okay, then hit the backboards with the archers. Whatever archers we have left, have them hit the backboards.
Okay. The guardsmen put some hurt on some of these gnawers down here that were tearing into your NPCs. And okay. It's Firstborn's turn. They do not back off. You see Drekken right up in the middle of that. And he's attacking with his men. And they are completely ineffective. Filbert.
Surprise.
Filbert is going to run down and help the NPCs.
Okay. Because you are entering into there, I will get them fully out of the way now.
Okay. So I'll come in here and I'll attack Gnoll ladder number 3. Do I have an ally within?
Yes, you have the guardsman.
Thank you. I would have advantage on that, so I'm going to roll again just in case I get a 20. I don't, so I'll do the damage. And then, oh, he's dead.
Instant death.
My bad. Sorry, buddy. I'll shake him a little bit and just toss his body over the edge. Like a good dog. And then 50 feet of movement. I will move into melee with the other one.
Okay. Othig.
Gonna do some attack. Where is number 7? Is he's in that square adjacent to me?
Yeah.
Okay. Just checking.
He's hiding behind the Sphinxes just a little bit. Oh, both of them. Ladderer 7 and Gnar 7 are over by you.
Yeah, okay. This is exactly what I was looking for. So he's getting glaived. Oh yeah, is he getting glaived?
He's getting glaived hard. Critical damage. Boom. Off he goes.
And butt swing on 7. What is this? No butt swing on 7.
No butt swing.
That's awesome.
So Thanok's up.
I'm just gonna try to shove this guy.
Okay, make a strength check.
It!
Is it athletics? What is it?
It would just be a strength check. That's enough. So you flip the iron latch over and give it a shove, and he is going to make a dexterity saving throw to leap from the ladder, and he is not going to make it. You see him jump. He crawls up to the top of this ladder as it's going back, and he jumps off and he's reaching out and misses, and you hear, and he just falls 50 feet, and ladderer number 8 is no more. As he slams into the ground below.
Then I will just move right there so I can see how far away these backlords are now.
Okay.
That's it.
All right, it is their turn now, and they make it another 80 feet into the city. So they are now 110 feet from you guys. And the rebels are up. And do you still want them to try and shoot the pack lords?
If they can.
They're right at the edge of their range, so 2 of them will shoot at the 1 pack lord. And those are unfortunately both going to miss. You're watching as arrows are bouncing off of their plate armor, or half plate, I should say. And they lay into... That's not a good hit, but Ladderer 2 takes some damage. Team NPC is functionally out of the combat. They get 1 attack. And that's going to miss. So we got 4 flesh gnars left. One of them's going to attack Filbert. The other, one of them's going to attack NPC. Not NPCs, guards. Actually, all of them are going to attack each of the different groups.
Which one is attacking at the guards?
That is going to be
2?
number 3. Number 2 is attacking the firstborn. Oh, I got this guy down here too. He's going to come over here. Sorry, the Ladderer is going to be the one who attacks Filbert. So
Number 1? Yeah.
Yeah, Ladderer 1 is going to attack Filbert. So, Flesh Gnars. Drekken and 1 guard are the only ones left standing at this point. And
Rough.
the Sphinxes take just a little... They don't actually... Nope, they don't get hit, sorry. It's funny, I was doing better with this when there were more of them.
Those tears that you're shedding, Andy.
Mav.
Math is going to troll the dead.
Wiping some tears from your face for you? For Drekken?
Oh.
All right, so now it's the Ladderer's turn. One of them is going to attack Filbert. 2 are attacking the Sphinx, and I believe the last one is attacking the Red Rocks. Mr. Drekken. Those are all terrible rolls. There's not a roll in there over an 8. So, good job, boys. Guardsmen still have a good amount of attacks. Those are all good rolls. Oh, damage is terrible, though. They are only going to manage to kill 1 of the Flesh Gnars, and that's number 3. Yep, 2 hasn't been hit yet, so... Alright. And that brings us to the top. That's our firstborn forces. Good old Drekken and his guard. They hit. He's going to hit number 2 because number 2's already been hurt. And they'll kill that guy. Filbert.
Pounce.
Pounce.
That'll hit. And then I'm going to try and push him off.
Oh, it's in that one. He's gone.
Bye, buddy!
So Ladderer 1 just takes a digger off the side, joins his other Ladderer buddy that had fallen off before. That Thanak pushed
I
off.
will move to melee over here
Okay.
and only kind of care and snarl at this thing, but I'm also kind of snarling at...
Yeah, right on. Othig.
Othig. Othig. There's 1 square in here, I think. Continue on that guy. Yep. Oh, man. Just.
Yep.
Oh, whoops.
Whoa,
What?
that's a lot of dice.
Oh, I should have declicked. Hang on. So it was number 2.
We can't see that. We can't see which one rolled.
Oh.
You'll have to re-roll, unfortunately. That really sucks because nat 20 is
Well, no, number 2 was the miss. Unless you just want me to re-roll entirely.
Oh, no, I see what you're saying. Okay.
By enemy, number 2 was a miss. So do you want me to keep that or re-roll?
No, you should keep that. Because that's what happened.
Yep.
All right, so Othig, you kill one, miss the other. Thanak?
Oh, 1 second. Can I hit either of these pack lords? They're not even hurt. I mean, they're in range, but as long as they're in line of sight, they're in range, but they're not even.
They're 110 feet from you. You can zap 120, right?
Yeah, 120. So as long as they're in line of sight, I can hit them, but they still have a ton of health.
Yeah. The one's not even heavily wounded yet. You're pretty sure you will not kill them with your blast.
Yeah.
If it makes you feel better, if I can get down off here, I can catch up to him without a whole lot of issue. I can move 100 feet around.
Oh, this brings up a good point. I was going to ask, how far did you say the ramps are up to the wall? Are they past that?
The tunnels, you have to go into the towers, and then it follows the canyon along on the inside. And they're halfway.
Does it look like they're booking towards the other gate, or are they?
It does look like they're running for the other gate.
Okay, they've already passed the entrances into the towers. That's what I was asking.
Oh no, they're probably. How far is a quarter of a mile? Because that's how far it is from the gates to the town. Yeah, so
1,200 feet.
Yeah, they're a fifth of the way there.
Okay, yeah, they're not there yet. That's what I was asking.
Because I can make haste after them and be on them in 3 rounds.
Yeah, but you're the only one who can.
I'm a big deal.
Well, I'm just saying you'd be by yourself.
What?
Can't help you.
What are you wild shaped into right now?
A dire wolf.
Can I ride you?
That's up to DM discretion.
You are not made for riding. I would slow your movement speed, but I would allow you to take Othig.
Yeah, there you go.
I mean, so you could take any of us, and at least you'd have a companion. That's what I'm getting at.
I'm on the other end of the wall currently, too.
Mav is
You have
not
to make your way to me.
volunteering.
Mav has barely survived this fight with 2 failed death saving throws.
Thanak,
No,
you wanna
only
come
one
down to
failed.
me?
Yeah, sure.
All right, well,
would it slow them? Because they're moving at 80 feet. Per
Yeah, the question is how much would it slow you, and would you still be able to catch up? That's the
Yeah,
question.
they're moving at 80, so you're only going to catch up on them a little bit. I mean, sooner or later, you definitely will catch them. But
yeah.
All right, so
Do we
here's what I'll
abandon
do.
the front line? We shouldn't abandon the front line. We were told not to leave the front line. That was a statement made.
Yeah, we were told not to retreat.
Yeah.
Yeah, those guys are retreating.
What?
I'm a dog. I can't argue with it.
Okay.
I don't know. I've seen plenty of videos with dogs arguing with their masters.
Yeah. What about? I have just a quick question. Those two guys. Who's left back there? Like, what about the leaders?
Well, there's several people who are at least militia capable guarding the gates. You have no idea what these 2 are doing because they're alone.
Yeah.
I would tell Phil to go get them.
That's what makes it more concerning.
Yeah. I don't know what they're doing. So I will run over to Phil. So here's the thing. I have 60 feet of movement. He is 60 feet from me. I don't know how to make this work. Should I run over to him? Should I?
You can run over to him.
Okay.
If you dashed, you could get to him. And then I would allow, in this case, to use a bonus action to get on Phil, because he'd be enabling you to get on him.
Okay. All right. Can Phil go down ladders?
Nope. But you don't have to worry about ladders. It's all tunnels.
Well, I was going to jump down under this house next to the tower here.
That's a tent?
However you want to do it.
Yeah, it functions.
That's a tent, and that's 90 feet down, isn't it?
No,
It's
it's only
50.
50 feet.
All right.
Oh.
50, but there's injured
But you'd be
people.
crushing whoever's in the tent.
Yeah.
They don't know that.
Actually, those aren't there anymore. The ogre melted
Doesn't matter
them.
if they know it or not. He's still
Oh yeah, the ogre did melt those. You're right. Okay.
Yep.
I'll do it the right way.
I'll do it the right way.
Okay.
I'll do it the right way.
So that's Thanok's turn. The pack lords continue moving. They're 80 feet, so now they are almost 200 feet away from you. The rebels turn their attention to the last of the Gnolls, since they are now the pack lords are pretty far. And oh gosh, those are bad rolls. I'm only gonna hit one of them for 1 point of damage. How wonderful! 2 and 10. Well, 10 is at least now heavily wounded. Team NPC. All their people are stabilized, so they take some ranged attacks. That's a bad ranged attack. That is a better, but still not good ranged attack. 2 flesh gnars, 1 on each side. Sphinx get eaten up by one of the flesh gnars, and the firstborn managed to not get hurt anymore. Mav, you're up.
Mav is going to cast Troll the Dead.
Troll the Dead. Dang, that's my second nat 20 success against you tonight, my friend.
He is going to succeed.
And not your evening. Let's see, I got
Mm-mm.
2 ladderers left, 1 on each side. Sphinx and Filbert. Both will be missed. So the guardsmen are now going to turn on Ladderer and maybe the Flesh Gnar. Wow. Yeah. The guardsmen are completely emboldened by surviving this ordeal. And they have just demolished these last 2. That's 2 nat 20s and an 18.
Nice.
So
I gave them tactics.
yeah, they just go nuts, and they will take out Ladderer 6 and 4. So you guys no longer have to worry about attacks of opportunity.
I wasn't going to worry about them anyway.
I know you weren't, but you definitely don't have to now. And that comes up to the firstborn, who they are still looking for foes. They don't see any, and so they step up here and look out over the wall at the darkness, which is now almost to the gate. I stopped redrawing it because it was freezing us, but it is right on the gate right now. Filbert.
What is
A
that?
train horn?
Train horn?
No, I take off.
Oh,
Gandalf.
is it the Horn of Gondor?
All right, Filbert, make a athletics check for me as you are bounding away with Thanak on your back. 15 or better, and you don't take any decrease in movement speed.
Oh,
Okay.
wow.
So
All right.
you take a 20 foot decrease in your movement
Hey.
this round. That was not a good roll. You were adjusting to having a heavy armor wearing dwarf riding on your back. Othig, what's up?
Oh, sorry. I was trying to make sure I didn't have any special abilities.
Well, if you do, we'll change it. So, Othig, you're up.
Attacking.
Raw. Othig clobbers. Othig clobbers hard.
Winning. Can I move in for my butt swing?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
I don't know if I'd let you go charging across a battlefield, but I'm definitely going to let you do what you just did. So you come in with your butt swing, critically hit him, and just boop him right off the wall. He just goes yipping over the wall, flailing around, and crashes to the ground. All right.
Excellent.
Filbert, give me... Did you find another ability to help?
I just have a higher strength. That's all.
Okay.
So it wouldn't have helped much.
Give me 2 more checks. This is generally overall whether or not you're gaining on them or not. That's a good one. So that one you keep up a solid pace and you do feel like you're getting your full movement. Same with that one. So the first one you come busting out of the tunnels and you do see them off up ahead, and you realize they're still ahead of you and they're still running, and they stop just short of what is likely archer range of the fortress, and they both pull out horns, and one of them what?
Am I able to hit them while we're chasing?
No.
Okay.
You're not that close yet. They both start to blow, but you only hear one. And everybody... No, you don't need to make perception checks for this. That's stupid. I was about to say, make a perception check to see what the giant storm surrounding you does. You don't need to make that. The storm begins to swirl and funnel into one of the Gnoll's horns, and it is blowing out the other. But when it blows out the other, it is a completely blackened cloud, and it dissipates rather quickly as it flows towards the town.
Man.
All right.
And now you two are upon them as they finish up what they're doing. Let's see. We'll just go to the top of the initiative. Filbert, you're up first. Oops. So you leap onto the one and bite him. And as you bite him, he just crumbles to dust.
Oops. I broke it.
Thanak.
Well, I guess as he bites the other one, I will spear the other one. And I missed.
And you miss.
And I missed.
All right. Well, it turns on you, and it looks awful. It is gaunt. Its flesh is withdrawn into it looks dehydrated, almost to the point where it's leathered from being out in the sun. Its skin is cracking. It's seeping blood, but the blood doesn't flow. It like coagulates and oozes out of it, and then it raises its battle axe at you, Thanak. And it misses it well. It's such a feeble attack, it can barely hold itself together. Filbert. Filbert, you're so grossed out by having all that Gnoll dust in your mouth that you go to bite it and you're like, oh, maybe not. I should do it.
I start like hacking like a cat, and then I remember I'm a dog.
Yep, you're about to throw up a hairball. Thanak, you're up. Oh, that does it. So you drive your spear through him and just straight up through his midsection and kind of lift him up in the air, and you're going to slam him down to the ground, but you never get the chance as he kind of crumbles and dissolves on the end of your spear. All of their gear is gone, but there are 2 black horns laying on the ground in front of you.
Okay, don't touch him.
What is that for?
I was gonna attack the horn, but
No, don't touch it.
You go to attack the horn, but Thanak grabs you and says, no, 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 no. Filbert, as you get close to it, on one of them is part of the phrase that the old man told you.
oh, Kachiga.
And I think that's where I'll leave you.
Huh.
That time already?
It is that time already.
Oh my gosh.
It is 9:27.
No rest for the wicked.
You guys did exceptionally well defending the wall.
On to week 4.
After
rest.
After Phil and I kill the guys, we just look at each other and do this.
I love your God of War memes.
What am I?
They're like some sort
I
of
don't know.
like
No,
half
it's-
lizard, half
This is
vile dragon thing.
it's an
approve.
AI rewrite of a different meme, just using God of War.
Yeah, the Shaq. It's the Shaq meme
Yep.
Yeah,
and the kitty
it
meme.
is.
The people from the studios that did God of War, Rockstar, they did a lot of this. That one with the head, that is straight
Yeah.
out of another meme. Oh gosh.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's not an axe fail tonight. You guys actually did really good. I was expecting to kill off more of the NPCs than I did. So, the battle's won. We'll do some recovery and catch up over the week here as to what happens next. Answer some of these lingering questions. You will get a rest, and you will get a level.
Woo!
Nice.
So,
Nice.
Do we have any idea what the horn did?
no, you don't.
That's good.
Too much crazy dancing.
So, yeah, maybe we can get a little bit of that in on Discord over the weekend and the next week. That way, we're not doing too much exposition when we start up next week. But yeah, so that's where it's at. I'm gonna stop the recording. I was really mad at the end of that game.